Seminoles, the preeminent team in college football for the last half-decade. The Miami Hurricanes dominated college ball for 10 years in the 80s and early 90s. One state, two teams, who collided in two titanic meetings simply known as wide right.
35-yard field goal to win it. Good snap. Here's the kick. It is up. It is no good.
Florida State trails 19-16. The snap is back. The kick is on the way. It is no good. Wide to the right. The game is over.
Since those fateful games, Florida State has dominated the rivalry, physically and emotionally, winning 6 of 7, including 5 straight. Now the Canes are once again ready to challenge the Seminoles and reclaim their spot among the nation's elite. Florida State is on a 15-year run of sustained excellence. Today, the Canes provide a roadblock on their path to a repeat national title as the Noles continue their pursuit to join the greatest teams in college football history. We welcome you to South Florida, and we welcome you to the Home Depot College Football on CBS. Today, the top-ranked Seminoles of Florida State take on the 7th-ranked Hurricanes of Miami. Both teams have received their marching orders for this one: play and play well, and do so before a national television audience and a sold-out house. The emotions are running rather high, and no matter where you look, you'll find support for either team. The Orange Bowl has a chance of heating up just a bit this afternoon. It's Florida State, undefeated and 5-0, ranked number 1. Miami 3-1 and ranked number 7. Florida State coming back into the Orange Bowl. Chris Winkie, the quarterback, now 28 years old. First 3-year starter in Bobby Bowden's tenure at Florida State. And here come the Seminoles. Here comes Miami. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist. Welcome to the Orange Bowl. This rusty old relic is vibrating in anticipation of the renewal of one of the most intense rivalries in all of college football. Miami against Florida State. Think about this. In the last 14 years, 10 times one team or the other has played for the national championship. Alonzo Jackson plays right now for Florida State, but he might well have spoken for either team when he talked about the significance of this game.
I'm ready to get in there, for sure. Whole lot of bad blood involved, whole lot of hatred. You know, they took a couple of national championships away from us, and we took a couple from them. I mean, it's going to be live. I'm ready.
Yes, and so are we. I'm joined by Todd Blackledge. Todd, the big question, of course, coming into the game, the status of Chris Winkie, the Florida State quarterback.
Well, Vernie had a severely sprained left foot in their last game against Maryland. It happened not in a sack. He was sacked 4 times, but he stepped in a hole early in the game. Now he's got 2 good things going for him. Number 1, the injury happened 9 days ago on a Thursday night instead of a week ago. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't play today. The other thing is, it's his left foot, and for a right-handed quarterback, that's very significant. His plant foot is okay. The left foot, a little more of a problem.
Well, Bobby Bowden said it would be a game-time decision as to whether or not he could go. Let's get a checkup right now and go down to the sidelines to Jill Arrington.
That's right. Chris Winkie did not practice much earlier in the week because of that sprained left foot. He had a mobile cast on it. He had very little mobility. He couldn't put a lot of pressure on it. But Thursday, he went through a full practice. He said he felt pretty good. There was no swelling after after practice on Thursday. I talked to him yesterday. He's around 90%, he says. The coach Rick just told me he will start the game today. Now they're going to put some extra protection, some extra padding on that foot to try to keep him in the game, and I'm going to keep an eye on him. Back to you guys.
All right, Jill, thank you. And of course, there's a big edge in experience, Florida State versus Miami.
Well, there's some similarities between the two quarterbacks in this ball game. Both Chris Weinke and Ken Dorsey have played extremely well through the first month of the season. Both are unquestionably the leaders of their teams and hold the key to their chances today and a run at a national championship. But there are some obvious differences as well. First of all, you start with just the age. Chris Weinke is 9 years older than Ken Dorsey. Both guys have put up good numbers, only one loss as a starter. Maybe the most significant number also that doesn't show up, Chris Weinke is 2-0 against the Miami Hurricanes. For Ken Dorsey, this is his first meeting against Florida State. He was tested in Washington. He'll be much more severely tested today against the Seminoles.
I think all of you know about the intense downpours that have harassed South Florida over the past week. The forecast for today, quite pleasant, 85 degrees. We do have 94% humidity and partly cloudy skies. There is a chance that we'll have late afternoon thunder showers again today. And moments ago, the flip of the coin took place, and former Miami legend Jim Kelly
to midfield.
Late of the Buffalo Bills.
In giving a warm University of Miami welcome to today's honorary captain, former great quarterback Jim Kelly. Welcome back to Hurricane Country.
And Miami won the toss, so Florida State will kick off. Andre Johnson, number 5, one of the 2 deep men, and Daryl Jones, number 1, joins him. There's the kick. And the collision at the 23. Jones fumbles. Who got it?
I think
Florida State got it.
Ronald Bolden of Florida State is the guy who's going to come up with the football. Butch Davis told us yesterday we can't get beat on the special teams. Actually, Charles Howard, I think, is the guy who came up with the ball. But watch the opening kickoff. A big hit by Michael Boulware knocks the ball loose. And on the opening play of the game, a huge break in the kicking game for Florida State.
Howard comes up with a recovery. Florida State first down just inside the 25. And here's the 28-year-old senior hampered by the bad sprain in his left foot, Chris Weinke. Backs are in the eye. Flip formation right side. The handoff goes up the middle to Travis Minor, and the senior inside the 20. Let's check the Florida State offense, and it is potent. Up front, Brett Williams gets the start with Ammon, Jared Moon, Otis Duhart, and Sharon Dorsey. Carlos Thomas will also rotate at the tackle spot. And the hurry-up offense, Minor, McCray, Minnis, Morgan, and Franklin, they're at the line on second down. Minor gets the handoff, and that's going to be a yard short of the first down at the 16. Tackle made by Howard Clark, number 45. Miami's defense, Quincy Hips. Damian Lewis is starting. He's bothered by a broken bone in his right foot. William Joseph and Jamal Green. Dan Morgan is en route to become the all-time leading tackler in Miami history. And the secondary just might be as good as any secondary in the country. Rumpf, Blades, Reed, and Myers. 3rd and 2. They try the fullback, and William McCray, I believe, is stopped short.
A huge answer by the Miami defense after the turnover, bringing up 4th down. And Damian Lewis, everybody talked about Chris Weinke's injury this week, but Damian Lewis's injury, a broken toe on his right foot, just as significant to the Miami cause. He is the best interior defensive lineman in this ball game, a real disruptor. He did not play against Rutgers, but he's in there trying to go today.
And Marcus Outson replaces Chris Weinke as they go for it on 4th and 1. He is, on a good day, the more mobile of the 2. Quarterback sneak right side. I do not know. FSU has scored on 4 of 5 opening drives this year. The one time they were stopped was a drop pass on 4th and 1 against Louisville.
One of the secrets to running the quarterback sneak, pause just a half a second to allow the surge to go. Pretty good penetration by the Miami defense, but in that situation, not much yardage needed for Marcus Outson.
Butch Davis in his 6th season as the head coach at Miami. Now let's see if his indication is correct. Good read. They stopped them.
Take a look now at the penetration. Right over the right guard is where they were going to try to go. Watch the penetration right here at the point of attack. You got to stay low. You got to drive into the backfield and met head on. Right at the point of attack, William Joseph, the sophomore out of Miami Edison High School. Great penetration and a huge stop on 4th down by the Hurricanes.
So on 1st down, here comes the 19-year-old sophomore quarterback Ken Dorsey out of California. Backs in the eye. And he'll hand it off. James Jackson goes right. And he surges across the 25-yard line. Bradley Jennings, number 44, makes the tackle. Here is the sophomore. 6 and 1 as a starter. Had a really tough go in Seattle against Washington. 3 turnovers in the first half. Came back strong and then played well on the road against West Virginia.
And you look at that, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for a young quarterback. That speaks volumes of his quarterback savvy and maturity.
He is 2 passes away, and here is a flag thrown by our referee, Ron Cherry.
Illegal substitution. 86 broke the huddle. 12 men broke the huddle.
That's Ivan Mercer, number 86, who apparently was the 12th man. Bobby Bowden. And here comes Miami after the penalty. 1st down and 15. Najee Davenport, number 4, is the fullback, and Jackson is the tailback. Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, the wideouts. Hand off Jackson. And he gets 5 yards back. Butch Davis telling us yesterday how important the ground game is. He said we might see a lot of really terrific 4-yard runs. Here's the offensive line. McKinney, who has the tough task today. LaFleur, Romberg, Bibla, and Joaquin Gonzalez. James Jackson, Najee Davenport. The wideouts are Moss and Wayne. Ivan Mercer, the tight end. 2nd down and 10. This is Davenport coming to the left side. And Dorsey to throw. Flips it across to Davenport. And he gets yardage to the 33. Defensively now for Florida State. And we mentioned McKinney's tough job. It's Jamal Reynolds. He has 10 sacks on the year. Darnell Dockett, Jeff Womble, and David Warren. Tommy Polley, Bradley Jennings, and Brian Allen are the linebackers. And in the secondary, Clevan Thomas, Chris Hope, Derek Gibson, and Tay Cody. This is about as quick a defensive team as you'll find in the country. 3rd and 4.
Little confusion for Miami already in their first offensive possession. They had the 12 men break the huddle. Now a confusion on the alignment, and they're forced to use a timeout. So a lot of jitters early in the game.
Dorsey comes to the Miami sideline. Time has been called. They're scoreless in the first. We welcome you back. We welcome you back to the Orange Bowl after the timeout. 3rd and 4, Miami. DJ Williams and Najee Davenport in the backfield. That's Darryl Jones in motion, number 1. And he may have moved early. This is Najee Davenport, but I think Miami's going to be guilty of illegal motion. Davenport tackled at the 29, so option resting now with Florida State.
I think Najee better get a tighter chin strap too. That's 2 plays in a row where Florida State has come up and knocked his lid off.
Yeah, Darryl Jones went in motion and then was in some kind of hurry to get downfield.
Take a look again now. Coming from here, you're going to see Jones, and then he's going to turn up a little bit too early. Again, just pregame jitters and a lot of intensity, emotion in this ball game. Miami trying to slip a run in there on 3rd down and snuffed out by the Seminoles.
That brings on Clevan Thomas to return the punt of Freddie Capshaw. Capshaw has had an excellent season thus far. He's only had 7 returned, and the longest return against him has been 3 yards. We'll see what Thomas can do for Florida State. Here's Capshaw. Nice and high. And caught. Well, there's the longest return of the season. Fumble! Loose ball at the 47. And can Miami return the favor? Yes, they can. Andre King, number 84.
Big ball game. You got to secure the football. It's ripped out by Dan Morgan. He's all over the field, and another big play for the senior linebacker.
Turnovers now even at 1 apiece. 10:46 to go, first quarter. The 17th forced turnover thus far this year.
Yeah, they've
Miami.
improved over the last 4 years each year, and they're on a record pace this year with forcing turnovers. I think they got to try to get Santana Moss involved in the game quickly here with this good field position.
Here's Dorsey dropping back with a 4-man rush. Goes deep left side for Santana Moss. He is belted and cannot hang on as Tay Cody, number 27, came up to deliver the blow.
See, Santana Moss has the kind of ability that Peter Warrick had at Florida State. I mean, there's great athletes all over the field, but he has the ability as a returner, a receiver, a runner to rise above and take over a game. And a guy like that, you want to get involved in your offense very early. Get him into a rhythm. That time, a nice hit by Tay Cody separated him from the football.
Jackson and Davenport back in the lineup, and this is Darryl Jones, number 1, in motion. Dorsey flips it out. That's caught by Davenport out of the backfield. And he's got a first down at the 37. Ken Dorsey, sophomore from California. How about a scouting report?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ken Dorsey's. I really am. I think he's going to be an outstanding quarterback here at Miami. Protects the football really well. 19 touchdowns, only 1 interception in his career. He makes good, quick decisions. He's got a good mind for the game. Very accurate thrower. Now, on the negative side, he's not a great mobile quarterback, and this is his first game against Florida State. I mean, he's got to get acclimated to the speed of the game very quickly, and I think here on this drive, he's looking like he's caught up to the speed of the game.
6-1 as a starter. The lone loss was in Washington. Here's the stretch of the chain to see if indeed Davenport got the first down.
You know, Najee Davenport is a tailback by trade. I mean, he's been moved to fullback by necessity. Last week against Rutgers, he started the game at fullback, had 75 yards, and he did it because of injury. That's the only reason he was playing fullback. But in this game, he can be a real key contributor because as the fullback, a receiver coming out of the backfield against this Florida State defense, sometimes that fullback gets lost in their coverage. They're so aggressive, so much man-to-man, the fullback an easy guy to lose track of.
Will McPartland was the starter, but suffered a concussion and probably is gone for the season. So Davenport's in there. Here's the handoff to Jackson. He's got room left side and plunges inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Tay Cody makes the tackle. Well, how's Michael Vick doing? Let's go back and check with Tim Brando.
Vernon Todd, Michael Vick 2 years ago lost to Temple 28-24. Here, Lee Suggs takes it in after a block punt by Wade Ward. Remember, guys, Virginia Tech is a very big fan of the Hurricanes today. They're up right now 7-0 over Temple.
Yes, indeed, Tim, they are. Second down. Virginia Tech comes down here and plays in less than a month. Here's Jackson. And he moves to the 27-yard line. Now Ken Dorsey getting his first start against Florida State. How have first-time starters done against FSU? Well, recently not well. Craig Erickson did get a win.
Yeah, that's the most recent win for Miami for a starting quarterback in his debut game. Again, we mentioned Chris Wenke. He's 2-0 against Miami. One here in '98 as a first-time starter. One again last year in Tallahassee.
Saw Testaverde's name in 1985. One of the most significant wins in this series was in '86 when Testaverde led Miami to a come-from-behind victory. Here's the plunge for the first down on 3rd and 1. It's James Jackson, number 21. Jackson off to a slow start this year, but he came unglued with 118 yards against Rutgers in that rout last week, a 64-6 win.
You know, and they kind of had this luxury coming into the year with 3 talented tailbacks in James Jackson, Najee Davenport, and Clinton Portis. Well, Portis is out. He's injured with some broken toes. So Jackson's starting to get a lot more playing time. Then the injuries at the fullback puts Davenport in at fullback. So James Jackson, more of a featured back here the last couple weeks for the Hurricanes.
They do expect Portis back in 2 to 3 weeks. Broken toes and a foot in practice. Play clock. Whoops. Delay of game.
Momentum killers.
Yep.
You know, and Ken Dorsey tapping his chest saying, my fault, I lost track of it. But when you got the thing rolling against Florida State, you can't shoot yourself in the foot like this. You've got to keep the pressure on them.
Butch Davis said of Ken Dorsey in our conversation with Butch yesterday, he thought he saw the real deal in Seattle against Washington, but he ain't seen a thing yet.
Yeah. Well, the good news is he had to fight the crowd in Seattle. It doesn't have to do that today, but the bad news is Florida State's better on defense.
Handoff Jackson, quick opener, he's got some room down to the 22-yard line. Tommy Pauly, number 29, the outstanding linebacker, makes the tackle. But Jackson running well.
Big key to this ball game. Can Miami run the football? I think they need to gain at least 100 yards. That puts the pressure on these guys up front. The offensive line. Butch Davis says he thinks physically this is the best offensive line that they've had since he's been here. But they're young and they're untested a little bit. But so far, opening some nice creases for James Jackson.
In the last 5 games, all losses to FSU. They have not rushed for 100 yards. Here's a play fake down the middle. Davenport, touchdown Miami.
Vern, like I said, the fullback against Florida State sometimes gets lost. Watch Davenport slip right through the middle of the defense, unaccounted for. They're conscious of the wide receivers, the tight ends, but nobody picks up the fullback Davenport, the number 3 receiver, and a touchdown.
Touchdown reception by Davenport, set up by the fine running thus far. Extra point is good. Miami goes 47 yards after recovering the fumble on the punt return, and Najee Davenport scoots down the middle. A perfectly executed play fake by Dorsey. And a quick footnote, the team that has scored first has had the better of it. The only difference there, I think, was 92, was it not? That was the second of the wide right games. Wide right 2. Burned forever in the memory of all Florida State fans, and for that matter Miami fans, because they were on the victorious end. Interesting, the streaks in this series. Miami has lost the last 5, but they had won 4 of the previous 5 in the 90s. Then of course Miami hit with the scholarship prohibition by the NCAA. Here's Todd Seaver's kick, and boy does he get his foot into this one. Wow. Not only 8 yards deep, but way up in the air.
2 nice things to watch on the touchdown. First, watch on the left tackle, Bryant McKinney. This is a key matchup going against Jamal Reynolds. Does a nice job getting his arms extended and using his advantage, which is his height and long arms. And then the play fake by Dorsey fools Tommy Pauly, an outstanding linebacker, and that allows Davenport to slip right by him. Good blocking by the left tackle, good play fake by the quarterback.
And just another footnote for the sophomore from California. He's now thrown 125 passes without an interception this year. That is a new Miami school record, previously held by Gino Torretta at 123. McCray and Minor in the backfield. Winky right side behind Snoop Menace. A flag is thrown late. Very late in the offensive backfield. Menace makes the catch. If the play stands, it's a first down.
It's going to be a roughing the passer against Miami, and certainly with the injury to Chris Wenke, the officials are probably going to be in tune to that a little bit more. Miami came with the blitz after the play. Damian Lewis with an extra shot. And again, those officials will be watching Chris Wenke very closely today.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down. 92.
Chris Wenke in the last 2 years, over 300 in each game. That effort in 1998 was his first 300-yard passing game for the Seminoles.
He is the consummate field general, Vern. I mean, he has a great feel for this offense. He's in total command of what they're doing. He runs the no huddle. A valuable, valuable asset to this team.
At midfield, they spread it out, and out of the backfield, incomplete. Little flare pattern to Travis Minor. Four-man rush by Miami that time. And Marquise Fitzgerald, number 27, was covering, and he'll now come to the bench, 2nd and 10.
Now this offense, we should make the point, it's a no huddle, but it's not a hurry up. But they constantly give you the threat of going on a quick count, so they keep the pressure on you defensively.
Back in the eye, Wenke with the change at the line of scrimmage.
8-man front for Miami. Got to throw the football.
He tosses to Minor instead. Minor finds some room and rips it down to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Al Blades and Chris Campbell.
Nice audible this time by Chris Wenke. I mean, what he sees, you see 8 guys here, but the main guy is Blades, the safety. And Wenke is going to audible away from the safety, the toss sweep away from the free safety, and they get a nice gain.
3rd and 4 at the 44.
Here they come again. Blades throwing, showing blitz. Wenke audibling.
Twice. The blitz coming. The handoff to Minor. He is stuffed. 4th down. William Joseph, number 94, and Dan Morgan, number 44.
Dan Morgan is a guy, I mean, he is what you consider a linebacker. If you look up linebacker in the dictionary, you see a picture of a guy like Dan Morgan fighting off the block by the fullback McCray and in to make the tackle. 16 tackles against West Virginia, 20 tackles against Washington, and a big one here for Butch Davis's defense.
And on 4th down from the 45, Keith Cottrell is on to punt. 41-yard average for the season. And Santana Moss, the ever dangerous Santana Moss, fair catch called, and he grabs it at the 8-yard line. 36-yard punt and nothing on the return. Now let's take a look back at that game in 1987. That was the game that renewed the rivalry. Miami had trailed 19-3, but with 2:32 left, it was Steve Walsh to Michael Irvin, a 74-yard bomb. Florida State answered back when Danny McManus found Ronald Lewis in the end zone with less than 1:30 remaining. Down by 1, the Seminoles decided to go for 2. The pass from McManus intercepted by Miami's Bubba McDowell. Miami held on to win it 26-25. They lead by 7 here. And a flag is down.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Well, they have not been out without their mental mistakes. Bobby Bowden, Miami has handed FSU its first loss 8 times in the 26 years that Bobby Bowden, 25 previous games that the Bowden regime has sent Florida State out against Miami. And FSU, of course, has won 17 games in a row. Last loss to Tennessee, national championship. Play fake from the end zone. Dorsey has a man, overthrows him. Santana Moss was getting double coverage, but had the pass been lower and had he let him. Well, let's check in on how Virginia Tech's doing. Here is Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, Michael Vick wasn't there a couple of years ago when they lost to Temple, but you know what? He is now, and why not hand off to Lee Suggs? 8 touchdowns in his last 3 games. He's second in scoring in the country, Lee Suggs, and they're up by 2 touchdowns over Temple.
All right, thank you, Tim. It's interesting, you know, Timmy said a while ago that they probably, the Virginia Tech guys, here's the handoff. And Jackson gets out to the 8-yard line. Virginia Tech probably hoping for a Miami win here. That has to do with national championship aspirations. But, of course, they're both Big East opponents.
Well, Big East, BCS, strength of schedule, all that. You know, Virginia Tech wants that game when they come down here November 4th to be just as significant as this one is. And so that's why they're cheering for the Hurricanes today.
3rd down and 11 at the 9. 7-0.
Kenny Dorsey has done a great job of making decisions and protecting the football. He needs to be smart here in his own territory deep.
That is Santana Moss in motion. Dorsey with a little shovel pass. The old Utah shovel pass. That is an incomplete pass. However,
well, I think the play clock ran down on Ken Dorsey again. And that's twice now here in the first quarter that they were unable to get the play off. Ken Dorsey is signaling to the sidelines.
Well, prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense.
Again, Ken Dorsey knows where the play clock is, but he's got motion. It's tough to speed it up when you've got motion in the play and they're unable to get it off. And after the play, signaling to the sideline, hey, speed it up over there too. I'll hurry up, but get them into me quicker as well.
That is the 4th penalty against Miami. It was a dead ball foul, so penalty must be taken. It does give Miami another chance after the incomplete pass. 3rd and 16 at the 4. Reggie Wayne near side. Dorsey half roll. Has a man open. That is Andre King, number 84. Derek Gibson, the strong safety, defending.
You want to see what kind of an athlete Jamal Reynolds is. This time they try to block him with the back. Watch him right over the top of James Jackson, but James able to get enough of the knee to knock him to the ground. This is an incredibly athletic guy playing defensive end for Florida State.
So Freddie Capshaw is on the punt for the 2nd time. Clevan Thomas deep for Florida State. Recall that his fumble on the last punt return set up the only touchdown of the game. Capshaw, boy, they got close. That was almost blocked. Thomas circles back and is nailed at the 37-yard line.
Vern, Tommy Polley is a punt block extraordinaire guy for Florida State. Watch him come in here now, number 29. It looks like he's going to swallow this one up, but he tries to avoid the punter and doesn't get a hand on the football. He blocked a field goal in this game against Miami last year, blocked a punt against Florida and Virginia Tech last year on their way to a national championship.
And was within a whisker then.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Chaney now in the backfield, number 1. He'll rotate, play about a third of the time, spelling Travis Minor. He's the deep back in the eye. Winky across the middle, crossing route, dropped by Robert Morgan, number 87, the slot receiver. Well, first of 2 games for you, and coming up next, 15th ranked Auburn goes into Starkville to take on 20th ranked Mississippi State. That's next on CBS.
Take a look at Robert Morgan, a very effective runner after the catch, but hey, you got to catch it first. You can't go anywhere until you secure the pigskin, and that time Robert Morgan a little ahead of himself.
Second and 10. Miami brings 5. They put a hand on Winky. He rolls out and more is it a catch? Snoop Minnis, number 13, grabbed it for Florida State.
I'll tell you what, Snoop is unbelievable. This guy is listed as 185 pounds, but I think he really weighs about 170 pounds. Skinny pipe cleaner arms, but watch him fight for this football and make the catch. First First of all, watch Wanky. The pressure's going to come from Damian Lewis. Again, right here, the key, the guy for Miami's defense. Wanky on the bad foot, eludes the pressure. And now watch Snoop Menace fight for the football and take it away from Mike Rump.
There's another pass left side. Anquan Bolden, the intended receiver.
Back to the previous play again and watch the end of it now. Menace fighting for the football. Rump in a great position to make the interception, but Menace just fought for the ball a little harder than Mike Rump.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass to Bolden. Quick setup, drills it left side. Caught Morgan. Morgan chased by Morgan. And R. Morgan beats D. Morgan. Robert over Dan, 30-yard gain.
Al Blades was covering on the play. It was a corner blitz, and Al Blades went for the interception and got beat. Rump came on the blitz. Wanky read it. Blades came in and tried to make the one-arm tackle, and Morgan made him pay for it. Big play off a short completion.
Javon Walker on the field now for the first time. Here's another quick setup. Wanky goes in the right corner and overthrows his intended receiver, Marvin Snoop Menace. Boy, they come at you in waves, don't they?
That's the no-huddle offense.
Test your sports knowledge. Play Aflac Trivia at cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline.
I guess we're getting a tester on the Aflac question today, too.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Get a sneak preview or anything.
No, but I've got faith in you. 2nd and 10. Cheney caught behind the line. Chris Campbell, Dan Morgan. Loss of 3, 3rd and 13. Atruz Bell is on the field, number 26. Has caught 12, 6 for touchdowns this year. Winky changing on 3rd and long. Winky calls timeout. 2:25 to go in a fast-moving opening quarter. Miami up by 7. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl. 2:25 to go in the opening quarter of play. Both teams continue on their respective sidelines. This Miami defense comes back out. 3rd and 13. Just an interesting sidelight to this game. The Miami defense has scored 3 times. The defense has scored 3 times in each of the previous 2 games they've won.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns against West Virginia, 2 touchdowns in the safety last week against Rutgers.
James Lewis, one of the extra D-backs. 3 down linemen, 6 defensive backs. Morgan in the line in a stand-up position now. The linebacker.
They ran out of time, Vern, and you don't ever see that coming out of a timeout.
My, oh my.
They called timeout because of confusion. Now Chris Wanky still trying to communicate a new call, and you see the play clock all the way down.
This is Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, who played quarterback at the University of Miami in the early 80s. He served as a backup to Jim Kelly.
What started out as a very promising offensive drive with a couple big plays has now turned into a tough situation. 3rd and very long, 18.
Stunts by the defensive line. Good pressure from Lewis. Winky not very mobile, but he finds a receiver. He's got a man open at the 13-yard line. Atruz Bell, number 26. Did he get enough? I'm not sure. Needed 18.
Boy, another nice job by Chris Wanky on the bad left foot, eluding some pressure and making an accurate throw on the move. This is not his forte, throwing the ball on the run, but he finds Bell crossing the field, and Bell not able to get the first down.
Can you say Sebastian Janikowski somebody?
Wow.
He's not with this team. They are having serious kicking problems. I'm not sure that's all the reason they're going for it on fourth down, but they're not going to go for the field goal. Winky tosses it deep, tipped away. Edward Reed, number 20, intended for Carver Donaldson.
Great play by Ed Reed, the strong safety. Chris Weinke thought he had an easy touchdown. The tight end had Reed beat, but Reed with great makeup speed makes the play. Watch Weinke. He says easy touchdown. We fooled him. Ed Reed, great recovery, and knocks that ball down. What a nice play by the junior out of St. Rose, Louisiana.
It would have been a 31-yard field goal attempt.
Now, twice Miami has stopped Florida State on fourth down. That's key.
Here's James Jackson out to the 15-yard line. Not to beat this to death, but it probably will come up several times in the game. Janikowski, of course, the #1 draft pick of the Raiders, playing in the NFL. And Florida State is 4 of 7 with Matt Munyon, who's a walk-on freshman, kicking field goals.
Yep.
He's also missed 3 extra points. They've tried 3 different place kickers this year. Here's Dorsey. Wants a bunch. He's got a man. It's Santana Moss. And he is open for a huge game.
Again, they go off the play action. They've had some success running the football. Watch the play fake to Jackson, and they go right after Cookie Thomas, one of the better cornerbacks, but Santana Moss clearly a couple steps on him, and Dorsey gets him the football. Santana is the guy who can take over this game. He's got that kind of ability. They're getting him involved early.
42-yard gain, 1st and 10, and they have to burn another timeout. That leaves them with 1. 35 seconds to go, first quarter. Miami by 7. .35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Miami up by 7 and threatening. Now Bobby Bowden bemoaning his kicking problems. Here's Janikowski the last 2 years, 50 of 62 field goals. Matt Munyon is a freshman. Chance Gwaltney has also had his chance in the warm-ups this morning, and we don't mean to beat on the young man, but here was Munyon, a 20-yard field goal attempt against Air, and he hit the right upright. Finally did make one from a little farther out, but it is a serious problem for the Seminoles as they continue their quest to defend the national title. Handoff on first down. It goes to DJ Williams, number 17.
You know, Bert, just to follow up on that, anybody that's played and has spent time around kickers, you know that kicking is about 85% mental and only about 15% physical. I mean, you obviously know he's got a good leg, a strong leg, or he wouldn't be here, but mentally a little confidence shaken right now, and obviously Bobby Bowden, not great confidence in him as well.
2nd down and 7. DJ Williams continues at fullback in front of Jackson. Now Dorsey goes deep. Oh, he's got a man. It's Ivan Mercer, the tight end. 1st and goal, Miami. A 31-yard gain.
The Florida State defense very concerned with DJ Williams, the fullback, coming out in the flat, and they forgot the tight end. We've seen them forget the fullback down the middle. Now we see them forget the tight end, Mercer, down the middle of the defense.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score 7-0. We will return to the Orange Bowl after this message and this word from your local station. 7-0 Miami as we start the second quarter. And the Hurricanes, having gotten a touchdown pass to Najee Davenport, have now moved from their own 14 to a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Ken Dorsey, 6 of 8 for 125 yards and 2 big pass plays on this current drive. Reggie Wayne starts in motion. Hand off to Jackson, who is stuffed behind the line. Loses yardage back into the 10-yard line. Tackle is made by Jeff Womble, number 91. Well, we welcome you back to the Orange Bowl. Vern Lundquist along with Todd Blackledge. We don't want to say we have a bunker mentality, but it's a little comfy in here. Dorsey has been really cool.
Yeah, he really has, and I thought it was very important that he played within himself in this ball game. He didn't have to try to be like one of the great former Miami quarterbacks. He just had to play his game, and I think he's done that. He has settled into the pace of the game, and he's making good decisions on where to go with the football.
Santana Moss splits wide left. Wayne starts in motion. Dorsey play fake. Goes for Wayne, who was held up. And it's an incomplete pass. Cookie Thomas, number 8. Good coverage.
Well, Reggie Wayne has kind of been the go-to guy for Ken Dorsey so far this season and really in his career. He's thrown 7 touchdowns to Reggie Wayne, and every other receiver's only caught 1 from Ken Dorsey, so he has been kind of his favorite target, but good coverage that time by the Seminoles.
You see the red zone stats for the year. They face a 3rd and goal from the 10 now. Moss is in the slot to the left side.
Movement
by everybody except the center, Brett Rumberg.
The right side of the offensive line. Martin Bibla, the right guard. Joaquin Gonzalez, the right tackle. A little early movement. Both teams hurting themselves with the concentration penalties here in the first half.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Obviously, we've got a little feedback problem with Ron Cherry's microphone.
Take a look right here now. Ken Dorsey going with a little longer count, and he's ready to go. The right side is ready. The center's not ready. The left guard's not ready. So obviously a miscommunication on what the exact snap count was.
Double tight end set, 2 backs and 1 wide receiver. It's Wayne. And here's one of the tight ends, Robert Williams. Play fake. They go into the corner for Reggie Wayne. And again, he was held up, and this time they throw the flag on Tay Cody. Wayne got a step.
Nice call by Larry Coker. You bring 2 tight ends in, you bring the rest of the defense in, and you isolate one-on-one. And you can see Wayne did a great job of escaping the bump and run coverage, and Tay Cody had no choice but to try to grab the jersey. What's the key to throwing against Florida State? Stop the pass rush. 2 guys, the left tackle McKinney, the backup tight end in there helping on Jamal Reynolds. There's Larry Coker right there with the good call on the big 3rd down play. Now a 1st down inside the 10-yard line for the Hurricanes.
Defensive holding call on Cody. Now Dorsey, as a starter, and this is his 8th start, has found Reggie Wayne in the end zone 7 times, and then he has spread the goodies around. 11 other receivers, 1 catch each. Now Andre King splits out wide to the left. Ivan Mercer and Robert Williams, the 2 tight ends, are tight right. This is Mercer, who had a big catch earlier in the drive, and he sets up tight left, where he will help on Reynolds. Here is James Jackson on 1st down to the 4-yard line.
A couple former great quarterbacks, Bernie Kosar and Jim Kelly. Kelly with the visor and the sunglasses.
Well, there have been comparisons made to Bernie Kosar about Ken Dorsey. And yesterday, Butch Davis saying, listen, the kid needs to play with composure. He doesn't need to be compared to Kosar or any of the other ghosts who have played quarterback here.
But he does remind me a lot of Bernie, the way he plays. He's kind of lanky. He's very calm.
Jackson to the 2. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
So far in this first half, Miami has done exactly what they've wanted to do on offense. Have enough success running the football that you make them respect the run and you slow that pass rush down. The play action has been effective. They've faked a couple reverses to Santana Moss. A lot of little things to just take the edge off of Mickey Andrews' defense.
3rd and goal from the 1. DJ Williams is in at fullback, and Jackson is the tailback. They hand it off to DJ Williams. Touchdown for the heralded freshman out of California. That's his touchdown is a Hurricane.
Some confusion for Florida State with the call and what personnel they wanted in. They were never lined up correctly. A lot of movement trying to get down in their stance by Florida State. And Miami got a good jump off the football, a good push on the right side to get Williams into the end zone.
Todd Severs with the extra point. It's up and good, and Miami leads by 14. DJ Williams recruited as a linebacker. He can play both sides of the ball, as you've seen. Back at the Orange Bowl, where Miami is leading 14-0, and DJ Williams got the TD.
Well, we talked about the miscommunication. Look at Bradley Jennings still trying to find out where they're supposed to line up. They ran right where he was supposed to be, got totally knocked into the end zone. A little miscommunication on the Florida State defense, and Miami in the end zone again.
86-yard drive after Miami had stopped Florida State on 4th down inside the 15 for the second time this afternoon. Todd Severs getting ready to kick off. Davey Ford and Jeff Chaney. There's Chaney number 1. Davey Ford wears 22. This one returnable. It'll be Ford at the 1-yard line. Oh my goodness. Carl Walker, number 38. Take a moment to stroll in the sun.
You know, historically, these two teams are great coverage teams because of the speed and athleticism. And that is getting it done on kickoff coverage right there. You just scored a touchdown. Don't let that other team get any momentum. Knock them down inside the 10-yard line.
Seminoles have it just outside the 5. 1st and 10, 12:49 to go. Third quarter, Winky, play action, deep right side into double coverage. And that one well overthrown. Now let's check in with Jill Arrington.
There are a lot of legends here at the game to support the Hurricanes. I have Bernie Kosar right here with me. You talked to Ken this week. What did you tell Dorsey?
Well, I've been spending a lot of time down at UM as being a trustee, and you know, Ken has a lot of good things going for him, and he showed a lot of poise the last couple of weeks, and this is going to keep his confidence up and take what the defense gives you. And he's doing an awesome job out here, and it's great to see the Orange Bowl this rocking like this.
Okay, let's watch this play. We'll be right back.
Second down, handoff. They stuffed him again. Well, even Mr. Kosar, I bet Joe can appreciate this defensive effort.
I know that you gave him some advice coming into this big rivalry because you played here many times. What exactly did you tell him about keeping his poise out there today?
Well, you know, he's done, for a young guy, he's really doing a good job of keeping his poise. He doesn't really need much advice on that, and he has good confidence. He's had good success, and I think this crowd here today, the adrenaline's really feeding on the team, and I think these guys are pretty excited to have all us old guys coming around. I told them, though, I got a couple years eligibility left, but she's still in good shape.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us.
Florida State has to call time. They have only one left, and we'll be right back. Florida State looks at a 3rd and 13. They've yet to convert a 3rd down, and they do so now. Attempt it from their own 5-yard line. Miami counters with 6 defensive backs, and Winky will go out of the shotgun. 4 deep, and they're 20 yards deep. Here's Winky across the middle, and the tackle is made by Damian Lewis, number 92. So important to their defensive effort today. Well, Dan Morgan telling us yesterday he can't remember when they put the bleachers out in the south end zone, which they did for this game.
Yeah, 3,000 extra seats, indicating what a huge game and the anticipation that Miami fans have that the Hurricanes are back and this rivalry is back. And that crowd noise in this part of the end zone has forced some tough plays and a timeout.
Keith Cottrell with his feet on the end line. Here comes the pressure. Santana Moss moves up, grabs him for 37. Jukes to the right, and a nice open field tackle is made at the 32-yard line. 6 on the return for Santana Moss. control. Time has been called. They lead by 14.
14-0 Miami. Greg Schiano, defensive coordinator, likes to throw some junk at you on third down. This is Damian Lewis, the nose guard, the best pass rusher. But watch, in a zone blitz concept, he fakes the rush, drops back like a middle linebacker. Now watch the hit on Travis Minor. That's a nose tackle making that play. A big physical guy, but also very athletic.
And it helps set up great field position for Miami. Here's Dorsey going deep. Oh, he had a man. Andre Johnson, the freshman, number 5. He was there.
He sure was. Again, off the play action fake.
Coming up tomorrow, a doubleheader for you, the NFL on CBS. Dick and Dan and the crew just up the road. Buffalo and Miami tomorrow. Indianapolis, New England, Pittsburgh and the Jets. Tennessee, Cincinnati. And at 4:15, many of you will see Oakland against the 49ers. And it all kicks off with this charming group on the NFL Today. Najee Davenport, number 4, at the 27-yard line. The tackle made by Tay Cody, number 27. Virginia Tech's lead now 21-zip over Temple.
The run is good for 4 yards.
Mickey Andrews trying to get his troops going. Now he's got one of his fiery guys back in the lineup, Roland Seymour, who was a starter last year. Here's Roland right here. He hasn't been in the game at all this season.
Santana Moss gets the pass from Dorsey, but that'll be 4 yards short of the first down at the 24-yard line. And now, do they want to test the distance of Todd Severs, or will they go for it with a 14-0 lead? I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah. Talking about Roland Seymour, he was injured in the Sugar Bowl. Same knee injury as Tommy Polley. They had surgery, the same surgery on the same day. Polley able to come back at the beginning of the season, but it's been a little slower rehab for Roland Seymour. Hasn't played yet this season, but brings some leadership and some nastiness to the Seminole defense.
4th and 3 at the 24. It would be a 42-yard field goal if attempted. It apparently will not be, but Miami has used its final timeout to talk it over. Todd Severs, a redshirt sophomore from Ankeny, Iowa, in his first year as the kicker, and he has talked the coaching staff into letting him try one from 42 yards out. This would be a career long, as long as previous 33. And that familiar refrain when these two teams get together, wide right.
One of the things you worry about with a longer field goal is him kicking it too low, but he's able to get this one up quick enough, and he's got enough leg into it. But as you said, that familiar refrain of wide right applies to the Hurricanes. And a good stop for Florida State to stem the tide a little bit here. Their defense tired in this first half, on the field a long time.
Well, lest you think he can't boom one, he had a 63-yarder at Ankeny High School in Iowa. First down and 10, though. Here comes the blitz. Winky finds a receiver. And Quan Bolden just about broke that one for the whole 9 yards. 16-yard gain as it stands. Time now for our Exxon virtual playbook.
We're going to take a look today at the Seminoles Zone Buster, a play you'll see Florida State run a lot of different times from different sets. It's a quick, easy read for Chris Wenke. He reads the strong safety. He comes up on the back, throw the curl. He defends the curl, throw the wide flare. Easy read. They run it a lot.
Winky has a man drop it. That's the second one for Robert Morgan.
Florida State desperate to get something going here and put some points on the board, and 2 good throws by Wenke to Morgan, and both times takes his eye off the football and starts to turn and run before.
No pressure this time. Winky lets it go. It's caught. Adrius Bell got loose behind double coverage. Edward Reed and Mike Rumpf were both back there. But a 35-yard gain. Winky to Bell.
Great throw, too, by Chris Weinke, putting it out on the outside where only his guy has a chance to make the play. It's either incomplete or Bell can make the catch. Nice throw over 2 defenders, and Chris Weinke takes the hit from Matt Walters at the end of the play, but gets the completion.
35 yards on the completion. First down at the 25. Under 10 to go before the halftime break. Weinke deep, intercepted by Reed. He's going to be down at the 1-yard line. Weinke overthrew his intended receiver.
Chris Weinke made a great throw the play right before this to Atrus Bell on the corner route. This time down the middle of the field. You cannot hang a ball down the middle of the field. You got to keep that one low. He's going to try to hit Bell down the middle against cover 2. There's an area there, but you can't hang the football in the air. You cannot throw the ball down the middle of the field. Gets over the receiver, and an easy interception for Ed Reed. Just doesn't get down on this football. Has his man open, but too high for his receiver Bell.
That's the second interception of the season for Ed Reed. First down at the 2-yard line. Dorsey, handoff. James Jackson out to the 5-yard line. So Florida State continues to trail by 2 touchdowns. The last time they were down 14-0 was to Tennessee in the national championship game in '98, and they wound up losing that one. That, of course, their last loss, as a matter of fact.
Good opportunity for Bobby Bowden's defense right now with Miami backed up inside the 5. They need a 3-and-out right here.
Ball is slipped to the fullback. 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down. That was DJ Williams. Now let's go back to New York and check in again with Tim.
Vernon Todd and the ever-changing cavalcade of quarterbacks for Steve Spurrier. It's Rex Grossman getting the nod today. Here, culminating a 98-yard drive to Jabbar Gaffney. That's a name I think you guys remember. Florida leads LSU 7-0 in the second.
Do indeed. First game of the SEC season, Florida-Tennessee. Gaffney made the controversial catch for the win. 3rd down. Robert Williams, number 80, in motion. Dorsey flips it out. Contact? No contact.
Nice play by Brian Allen. That's senior against freshman, and he knew that play was coming. They tried to slip it to the fullback, and Brian Allen, the senior out of Lake City, right on top of it. Take a look. Maybe there is some contact with his right hand, but he's going for the football and gets the left hand on the football.
Now let me restate things. There was contact. It just wasn't deemed illegal contact. Freddie Capshaw will punt from 8 yards in. Nick Maddox waits for it. That's a fine punt. Maddox drifting back to the 40. Downfield coverage. There's an illegal block in the back. So this one's going to come back. But there's another flag thrown at the 46 near the point of the tackle. So this might take a while to unsort. A 44-yard punt, 12 on the return.
Again, another mistake by Florida State in this ball game. They had the good 3-and-out by their defense. They make Miami punt out of their end zone. They have a chance to have great field position, and Abdul Howard, a backup defensive back, in position to make a block, just doesn't concentrate enough and gets the penalty for the block in the back.
Now Rod Cherry's going to sort this out.
We have 2 fouls on the play. We have holding on the return team. That penalty will be declined. We also have an illegal block in the back on the return team. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Andre King, the wide receiver, was the first guy down there for Miami, and Nick Maddox had enough room to try to make him miss. You want to make the first guy miss on a punt return, but look at Howard. He doesn't need to make that block. If you can't get a clean block, just stay away from him. And so Florida State now, instead of starting on the 50 or better, they're back to their own 36-yard line.
They have 1 timeout left and 8:17 to go before the break. First down and 10. Atruz Bell and Marvin Minnis. Snoop Minnis are the wide receivers to the left side. Bell is the slot man. Winky hands it on. Goes to William McCray, the fullback, number 36, out to the 40-yard line. Premiering tonight on CBS, Washington, D.C.'s new police commissioner is handpicking the best crime-fighting team in the nation. Now the people have someone on their side. Emmy winner Craig T. Nelson stars in The District. Don't miss the premiere tonight on CBS.
Three-man defensive front for Miami. A lot of defensive backs in the game. 6 of them right now.
Here comes the three-man rush. Winky steps up across the middle, caught by Anquan Bolden, slips a tackle and is brought down at the 45-yard line with a first down by Philip Buchanan, number 31.
Three-man rush, not able to get great pressure. Wanky able to read the defense and allow this route, which takes time. Bump and run coverage, running the deep end. That takes some time to develop. Wanky has time to get it to Bolden.
Here comes the blitz. Edward Reed coming. The pass complete at the 39-yard line to Snoop Minnis out on the right side, and Philip Buchanan with the tackle.
You know, one of the best things I think Miami has done defensively in this first half, Vern, aside from the great plays on 4th and short, is Greg Schiano has gotten them lined up. He's kept it very simple. He's allowed them to just play. They haven't been flustered at all by the hurry-up offense. They've been in position, and they've played hard here in the first half.
Winky with the change. Miami threatening a blitz.
Play clock down to 5.
Comes the rush. Winky on the adjustment. The out route to Bolden is incomplete. There is the defensive coordinator, Greg Schiano.
Greg Schiano had some time at my alma mater with Jerry Sandusky at Penn State. One of the things he learned from him, he says, hey, your opponents, good teams, are going to make plays on you. That's not the critical thing. The critical thing is how do you respond after they make some plays. One thing he learned from playing Florida State last year was keep it simple, get your guys lined up, let your athletes play.
FSU still looking for its first third down conversion. They've missed on 4 attempts. Left side. Incomplete. Intended for Snoop Minnis. And the coverage from Mike Rump. Number 8. 4th down.
Pretty good coverage by Mike Rump on the slant route. He gets his hands on the receiver early. And then very similar to the play Brian Allen made for Florida State a little while ago. Contact on the way to the football. Good no call. And again, a nice defensive play by the Hurricanes.
Now Keith Cottrell back to punt. Santana Moss has pitched his tent at the 10-yard line. This one will sail into the end zone and come back to the 20. Touchback. Now Todd mentioned a while ago that we had a teaser for you as the Aflac trivia question. Chris Winky has won 25 consecutive games as a starter. Who holds the NCAA record for consecutive wins as a starting quarterback? Well, we'll wait. I think that might surprise folks.
Yeah, I think it will.
And I'm also going to name who holds the number 2 spot when we get there. First down and 10. Hand off to Jackson. Out to the 22-yard line. Tackle made by Bradley Jennings. Coming up at halftime, Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. Scores and highlights and an Auburn, Mississippi State preview. That's coming up at the half.
You know, I didn't think that it could get any more raucous in Starkville than it was last week when the Bulldogs beat Florida, but it's going to be just as intense this week. Another huge game in the SEC West between Auburn and Mississippi State.
Auburn, of course, goes in with an unblemished record thus far. 2nd and 8 in this one. Miami up 14-0. Dorsey play fake. He comes at Santana Moss, and Moss is down with the first down at the 44-yard line. Derek Gibson with a tackle, a 22-yard gain.
Nice play call by Larry Coker. They again went play action to the left and left the wide field for Santana Moss. Single coverage. against Thomas. They play actioned away from this, and Thomas in a trail position all the way, not even close to Santana Moss. Good call by Larry Coker, isolating Santana with the wide field.
Santana Moss with 3 catches for 68 yards. Andre King is the motion man. The handoff goes to Jackson. Balls his way across the 50 and down to the 47. Derek Gibson makes the tackle with help from Chris Hope.
You know, both these teams are used to the heat. They play in the heat. But the Florida State defense looks a little tired to me right now. They've been on the field a lot longer than the Miami defense. And Miami able to start to create some gashes in this Florida State defense. They're young at the defensive tackle position, experienced at end and linebacker. Right now they look a little tired.
Second and short. They slip the ball to DJ Williams. And the freshman from Concord, California, whose high school is going, I think, after its 104th win in succession. 105, which is an unbelievable record. Probably, Todd, the most highly recruited football player in the country last year.
Yeah, and surprised some people with coming to Miami. Had it narrowed down to Florida State, Miami, and nearby Cal Berkeley. But they just weren't winning enough games at Cal. Probably would have stayed on the West Coast and felt very comfortable here with the coaching staff, like Greg Schiano, the defensive coordinator you mentioned, recruited as a linebacker, but a real weapon at the fullback.
And the handoff, a flag is thrown. Could be a face mask call against FSU. It is indeed Chris Woods, number 98.
They got him for the 5-yard variety of face mask play. Watch the end of the play. There it is right there. Chris Woods, defensive tackle, got his hand on the face mask.
And after the penalty at the 27-yard line, Miami has lost 5 in a row to FSU. In those 5 games, they've yet to rush for 100 yards. Already today at 75. One of those old great cliches of football, but it's proving itself true today. Matt Moss out of the backfield, his 4th catch. And let's check in once again with Jill Arrington.
DJ Williams got a great start back in high school thanks to his mom, Sherry Gonzalez. She was determined to give her son a good education, so she worked extra jobs to send DJ to a private high school in California, De La Salle High School. Now, he wasn't real thrilled with that choice at first. Sent his mom a letter, "Come on, Mom, please let me stay at the school nearby." No, she said. He went, and wow, did he really make a turnaround. And then he wrote a follow-up letter. "Thanks, Mom." He really appreciated that. And he excelled on the football field. He was USA Today's Defensive Player of the Year, and look what he's doing now.
All right, thank you, Jill. There's a handoff, Najee Davenport out of the backfield. Well, just to put the period to that paragraph, as a two-way player, DJ Williams last year rushed for 1,900 yards, and he led his team with 133 tackles.
He is a talented athlete, you know, the physical maturity beyond his years, and he and the coaching staff felt he can contribute the quickest from a fullback position. He didn't play last week against Rutgers with a hip injury, but he is a valuable weapon coming out of the backfield as a runner or a receiver.
Time called.
Now, Vern, you mentioned the success of running the football, and it's not just the amount of yardage that they gain. It's not racking up huge numbers running. It's also the threat of the run. That opens up the play action. And Kenny Dorsey today, most of his big passes have come off of play action. And you just have to have a certain measure of success running the football to make play action work.
3rd and 8 here after the loss of 4. Dorsey back. This time no play action. He finds a receiver. Reggie Wayne has a first down at the 16-yard line. In front of Thomas, number 8.
They're going after Cookie Thomas a little bit. This is about the 3rd or 4th time that they've gone after him, either with Santana Moss or Reggie Wayne. A lot of respect for the speed. Too big of a cushion on that 3rd down play by Thomas, and an easy completion on the curl route to Reggie Wayne.
Najee Davenport in as a fullback now. Jackson is the setback. Andre King is wide right. Dorsey hands it off to Jackson. Nudges inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. The clock with 3:12 to go before the halftime break. Doubleheader for you today, and coming up next in Starkville, Auburn against Mississippi State. A significant SEC battle. That's the second game of our CBS doubleheader.
I like Auburn today. I think that Mississippi State played a wonderful ball game last week. They were at a great emotional and intensity pitch. I don't know that they can get to that same level in consecutive weeks, and Auburn playing good football right now.
Darrell Jones split wide left. Andre King wide right on second down. Dorsey goes for his tight end, Mercer. It's incomplete. It'll bring up third down. Chris Hope, number 28, was in the neighborhood.
I think it's time for Jamal Reynolds to show up on this play, this third down play. He's been very, very quiet. They've double teamed him some. They've run away from him some. But this Florida State defense needs a big play right now, and that's a guy who can deliver it. 10 sacks coming into the game, 21.5 sacks in his career.
And going up for the most part today against Bryant McKinney, number 78. Junior college transfer from Lackawanna, JC. Now there's help over there with Mercer. Here's a quick count. Reynolds is double teamed. The pass in the end zone incomplete to Santana Moss.
And credit Jamal Reynolds for getting some pressure and forcing the quicker throw than Kenny Dorsey wanted to throw it. He was able to beat the pressure and get in there, and then you see isolated on the play. Good coverage by Tay Cody, running him right to the back of the end zone. Takes a perfect throw to score on that one.
Todd Severs will get a second chance now. This one from 32 yards out. Aaron Moser is the holder, and Chris Harvey will snap it. Todd Severs is added to the lead. Officially, they have called this one a 31-yarder. .225 to go before the break. Miami has increased its lead to 17-0 after the 31-yard field goal. Now the half-flat trivia question. Winkie has won 25 as a starter. Who holds the NCAA record for consecutive wins? Go all the way back to 69 and to 70. And the answer is Chuck Ely of Toledo, undefeated as a starter. And who is number 2 on the list? My old buddy Steve Davis with 28 wins at Oklahoma. They went 32-1-1. Nobody saw them because they were on probation the whole time. A fact which I have not let Steve Davis forget in the subsequent 25 years. His team, by the way, leading Texas 35-zip.
That says a lot about Chris Wanke. Coming after that horrible game he played against North Carolina State, not losing a game since then. But he's got a challenge right now, and one of the things Chris Wanke has done is played extremely well when his team is behind or responding after a team scores. Miami with a 17-point lead right now. Chris Wanke plenty of time here in the first half to try to cut into that lead.
There's a kick by Severs. Travis Minor and Jeff Chaney are deep. This will be Travis Minor, number 23. And we have seen excellent coverage by the special teams of Miami today. Aaron Moser makes this tackle. Well, today's Army Heritage. They call the games wide right 1 and wide right 2.
Good snap. Here's the kick. It is up. It is no good.
Florida State trails 19-16. The snap is back. The kick is on the way. It is no good. Wide to the right.
That was 91 and 92. Florida State has won the last 5. And they have, in fact, thumped Miami in those 5. What a pop. Nick Maddox tried to make the catch, and Philip Buchanan delivered the tackle.
Right now, Miami wants to keep everything in front of them. Bringing a little pressure, playing zone defense, and a big hit by Buchanan to knock the ball loose. 3 defensive linemen again for Miami.
6 DBs. That's Morgan in the line. He is coming with the rush. It's a 4-man rush. Ball is tipped and incomplete. Damian Lewis, Dan Morgan, Jamal Green, Quincy Hips were the 4 who put the rush on then.
This is a veteran offensive line of Florida State. 4 out of the 5 guys seniors, and you can't allow that kind of pressure on your quarterback when they're only rushing 3 or 4. They've got to do a better job up there. That was not good protection on that second down play for Chris Wenke.
Out of the spread on 3rd and 10. Blitz. Oh, dead ball foul.
They're going to back Florida State up 5 more yards. A little early movement up front.
The penalty is against the Seminoles for a false start.
5-yard penalty. Let's go back and look at Dan Morgan on the previous play.
Well, he's a terrific linebacker, great against the run, but he also has speed and a burst to be a good pass rusher. Is able to get in there in the throwing lane and disrupt the pass by Wenke.
3rd and 15, zone blitz. They got to him. Quincy Hips, but Wenke slips and then throws it. Minnis is wide open. Snoop Minnis with a huge play.
Vern, if Florida State scores on this drive, this could be the play of the game for Florida State. Very close to having to punt again and go in at halftime down 17-0. Watch him elude the pressure of Quincy Hips. He's done that 3 or 4 times today on a bad left foot, and then across his body, feet not set, perfect throw to Minnis.
35-yard gain, 1:47 to go. FSU has 1 timeout left. Wenke off his back foot, man coverage, right sideline, incomplete. Intended for Javon Walker with Buchanan covering that time.
I'm impressed with this Miami secondary today. You know, they came into the season with a lot of accolades. A lot of the preseason publications rated them as the best group in the country. And they have shown me something today. They haven't given up anything easy to Florida State.
Miami blitzing again, picked off. A flag is down as well, so this one might be negated. Mike Rumpf with the interception if the play stands.
Well, Snoop Minnis got up complaining that he was knocked down as Mike Rumpf went for the football. Minnis ended up on the ground, and Rumpf ended up with the football. It was a slant route again. We've seen Rumpf play pretty well on this slant route. Watch and see if he knocks him down first. He pulls the jersey, then he does push before he gets to the football. A lot of infighting between receivers and defensive backs in bump and run man-to-man coverage.
Mike Rumpf, who returned a touchdown 45 yards for, or rather an interception for a touchdown recently. But this time the play is going to be negated. And a 1st down and 10 Florida State.
Bump and run coverage, you can make a lot of contact as long as that receiver's in front of you. If he gets behind you, you got to keep your hands off of him.
On 1st and 10, Wenke looking left, drills it. Caught by Atruz Bell at the 20-yard line. And he picks up an additional 3 yards as he works his way to the left. Jonathan Vilma, number 51, with a tackle. It has been 12 years, that memorable 88 game. 31-0 was the final score in that one. That was the season opener, and it was number 1 against number 2 then. Ryan Sprague is in. Here's the toss. Cheney going right. Hurdles a tackle inside the 10 and down at the 9.
Florida State only has 1 timeout, Vern, so we're under a minute now at 54 seconds. They've got to keep the thing moving here. Chris Wenke's going to try to save that timeout for as long as he can. If they get a 1st down, remember the clock will stop.
2nd and 2. Slip it to the fullback, McCray. He's down at the 5 with the first down.
Now the clock will stop until they set the chains. Chris Wenke may spike the football here, or he may try to call a play right here with 35 seconds left. But the Seminoles in good position to attack the end zone.
Javon Walker late on in the field. Heads out to the right side.
Too much time, Vern. Taking too much time.
Wenke into the left corner. Incomplete. Intended for Bell.
They are trying to run some personnel in late. Chris Wenke trying to change the play. That was a waste of time right there, and then the play was totally ineffective. Now watch, they're trying to run a new receiver in for Bolden. Chris Wenke, the clock is moving this whole time. Chris Wenke's trying to communicate the play. If you want to talk to him, call timeout and call a huddle.
Anquan Bolden back in the field. He comes left. Atruz Bell splits out wide right. 2 tight ends and 2 running backs in the eye. Draw play up the middle. Cheney is stopped at the 2 and they call timeout. Haven't yet. Now timeout. 13 seconds to go.
They tried to slip the run in there, and it looked open for a while. A nice hole on the left side, but quick recovery that time by William Joseph from his defensive tackle position. And Florida State forced to use a timeout. Now what that means, Vern, with 13 seconds left in the half, you'd like to think you could run it in from the 1-yard line, but if you get stopped on a running play, probably won't be able to get them lined up to kill the clock by spiking the football. So you almost have to throw here on this play.
That is Matt Munyon, who is the kicker. Walk-on freshman from Panama City, Florida. Earlier in the game, we told you about the kicking problems that have been troubling Florida State. Well, 13 seconds to go. The ball just inside the 2. No timeouts.
Yeah.
And you're right. Go back to that 3rd and 13. And Quincy Hips had Wenke lined up for the sack. But he avoided that tackle and then found Minnis for a 35-yard gain.
Mark Rick trying to call the perfect play here, because again, if you run it and get stopped here, you don't have enough time to run your field goal team on the field and kick a successful field goal. So you have to throw on this 3rd down play, and if it fails, incomplete, then you settle for the field goal. But they desperately want a touchdown right here.
Wenke talks with Jeff Cheney, who will be the deep back. William McCray is the fullback.
Play clock is going. It's down inside at 20 right now. Wenke just getting him out of the huddle.
Carver Donaldson, number 88, the 13th tight end, is tight to the left. In a power formation. Play fake. Intercepted by Morgan.
He could go all the way. He's got
off by Morgan. There's Cheney who knocks him out of bounds.
Two times in the red zone, Vern. They thought they could sneak the tight end in for an easy touchdown. They're trying to go right here, but watch Morgan read the play, get his hands on the football. 2 times Chris Wenke thought he had an easy touchdown to the tight end, flips it in there. Both times he comes up empty. Dan Morgan, a huge play for the Hurricane defense. And Greg Schiano right to the right of Butch Davis. Another great stop for the Hurricanes.
And how appropriate that the heart and soul of this Hurricane defense, Dan Morgan, the senior from Coral Springs, with another huge defensive play to end the half. Let's go down to Jill Arrington.
Coach Davis, your team came out with such aggressiveness. They've had their intensity level up the whole game. Are you pleased with that?
I'm really proud of the players. It's early in the game. There's 30 minutes left. I mean, these are 2 good football teams. Our kids are playing their guts out.
Dorsey doesn't look like the young quarterback that he is out there.
Well, he's growing. In every possession, every game, he gets better. He's got a lot of poise and confidence. I think a lot of it comes from the fact that our coaching staff and our kids believe in him.
Even though you've controlled the time of possession, when your defense gets out there, they get it done. Are you pleased with that?
Well, Florida State's going really fast. They're fast huddling us, and we got to keep our defensive guys fresh.
All right, good luck, Coach. Thanks.
Another look at Dan Morgan, his second interception of the year. None bigger than this one. Let's go to Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, they could be picking off number one. Coming on the AXA halftime report, we'll get you caught up on the day in college football, including Northwestern. Looking strong, Oklahoma on a roll after this word from your local station.
Of a half. Tuesday on CBS, a plan to kill the president of Russia is uncovered. Now the fate of the free world is at stake, and every second counts. Don't miss an all-new Jag Tuesday on CBS. Ken Dorsey has led the way. The sophomore from California has thrilled the likes of Jim Kelly and Bernie Kosar. Miami leads it by 17. By 7 as we get started quarter number 3, and let's go down and check in with Jill Arrington.
Coach Bowden, your team struggled a little bit to get the momentum going in the Orange Bowl. What are you going to have to do to get in this game?
We got to score. We're taking the ball down there and not to throw interceptions. We've been in the end zone twice and turned it over. We simply have got to score. Offensively, we're doing okay other than that.
Well, Wenke's thrown 2 interceptions. Is the foot affecting him at all?
No, I don't think it's affecting him. The lack of preparation might be affecting him, but it's some of that. They did a good job of anticipating what we were going to do. We threw a couple of passes we haven't thrown before, didn't think they'd be aware of them, and they picked them off. They're doing a great job.
All right, thank you a lot, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. 17-0. Last time Florida State was behind by 2 was just a little over a year ago at Clemson. They trailed 14-3 at the half, but came back to win that game. And a comparison to the quarterbacks, Todd Blackwood.
Yeah, the biggest thing that stands out right there, the 2 interceptions by the more experienced guy, Chris Wenke. Bobby Bowden mentioned, thought they had some easy touchdowns trying to get the ball to the tight end, but Miami came up and made 2 big plays to get interceptions.
Florida State will receive to open quarter number 3. Todd Severs will do the kicking chores. And the deep duo for Florida State, number 1, Jeff Chaney, and number 23, Travis Minor. Minor over the shoulder, and that'll be a touchback, Florida State. Well, 17-0. It was a year ago, 21-21 at the end of the first half of play.
Yeah, Miami scored 21 points last year and then got shut out in the second half. And as you mentioned, the big difference, Florida State scored right with them last year, was 21-21 at halftime. So a big hole for Chris Wenke and the Florida State offense right now. And Vern, I really think if Florida State is to get back in this game, Travis Minor has to become a factor in the second half. Only 10 yards rushing in the first half and no receptions coming out of the backfield.
Miami defense has excelled in the third quarter. Here is Minor. Big run to open the second half. He takes a pop up high from Al Blades, number 7. But a gain of 14.
Nice block by the fullback, William McCray. Travis Minor is a guy who is hoping to become the first guy to ever lead the Seminoles in rushing 4 years in a row. I mean, he plays big in big games, but he has been quiet so far today.
Here's the toss right side to Minor. Cut back. Avoids one tackle from Chris Campbell and then runs into Edward Reed. Let's break it down statistically at the end of the first 2 quarters. The turnovers, very significant.
Yeah, turnovers favor Miami. The time of possession, a big thing for Miami. That's why that Florida State defense got a little tired there. And Florida State 1 of 7 on third downs in the first half didn't help matters either.
On second down, Wenke, flag is down. The pass complete to Robert Morgan, number 87. If it stands, it's a first down at the 47-yard line.
I think they might call offsides. Miami lined up offsides because there was no early movement, I don't believe.
That'll be a 15-yard gain then.
And you see what Florida State's doing right away. They get One of their key guys, Travis Minor, involved right away. 2 quick runs, and then the nice throw on play action.
Adrius Bell is on the field now in the slot to the right side. It's 1st and 10. 5 defensive backs in for the Hurricanes. Winky out of the spread, faces a blitz. Quick delivery right side to Bell. He circles inside, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and Buchanan hauls him down. It's 1st and goal, Florida State. A gain of 42.
Vern, so often when you see big plays in the passing game, it doesn't have to be the 40-yard throw down the field. In a man-to-man coverage situations, if you catch the football and elude one tackler, as Bell did here, you can turn a short throw into a big gain. Now watch Buchanan try to smack the ball out at the end, and Bell does a nice job feeling it from behind and protecting the football.
Marquise Fitzgerald missed the tackle. 1st and goal. Winky in the spread again. Lobs it out to Minor, chased by 3 men. And again, he avoids the tackle of Edward Reed and Marquise Walker and cuts inside for an additional gain inside the 5.
Travis Minor very involved in this first drive to start the second half. This is the playbook play we showed you earlier. Look downfield. If it's not there, flip it out to your back and let him make somebody miss in the open field. He does that very well. He eludes a couple of Hurricane defenders out there, and now good position.
Hand off, Travis Minor. Stopped at the 1. 2nd and goal. Dan Morgan, number 44, makes the tackle.
You know, one of the problems I think that Florida State has had in the last several years is they do so much from the shotgun, and they throw the ball so well, and they pass block so well. It's really tough for offensive linemen to all of a sudden then shift gears in a goal line situation and really get that good push that you need to run the football. That's been a problem for them for a couple years. It's tough to be good at pass blocking and run blocking at the same time.
Chad Mater comes in as an extra blocking back. He lines up to the left side. Minor is the deep back. Minor gets the toss and the lead block, and he's knocked down at the 1. Morgan and Edward Reed.
Quincy Hips with great pressure inside, getting the penetration. Watch Hips right here get across the line and just destroy this play. He doesn't get the tackle, but he was there first and made the play go the other way. Dan Morgan there to finish it up. Hips gets the penetration, and Morgan doesn't miss tackles when he gets there.
Bobby Bowden will call on the freshman, Matt Munyon. 2 of 5 kicking field goals this year. This one is hammered home.
Said we're not going to get down there and not score again. He told Jill right before the half, we've got to score. Well, they've got 3. They wanted 7, but they'll take 3.
FSU is on the board.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights. This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy. Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield, even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the tasty chicken tender sandwich. Or spicy jalapeno poppers. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great tasting food every day. Got the urge?
You never know who's going to show up on the NFL Today. Sundays on CBS.
Opening drive of the third quarter for Florida State has Greg Schiano, the Miami defensive coordinator, trying to inspire his kids. They did hold them to a field goal after a 1st and goal. So a 17-3 score now. Florida State getting a little encouragement, I would think, from that opening drive.
Yeah, very encouraging, and I'm sure Mickey Andrews on the Florida State sideline doing the same thing with his defense. They need a big stop here.
Chance Galtney is the kickoff man, and he runs into his own man, Aaron Moser. And fumble. He was ruled down at the 15-yard line. It was Darryl Jones. He bumped into number 26, Aaron Moser. And there's another flag on the far side of the field.
We'll take a look at the play now. You know, it started off bad when he ran into his own guy, and that was a good call. The ground did cause the fumble, hit the ground, and then the ball is going to come out. The end of the play, on the ground, ball comes out. But a penalty on Florida State, I believe.
Yes, there is a flag at the 35-yard line. Looks like this one will come back.
Captain! Come on, tell me what you want to do.
I think what they want to do is take a shot at it again. So Andre Johnson and Darryl Jones go back to the 10-yard line. And Chance Galtney, who is one of the 3 place kickers that Bobby Bowden has used this year. Galtney getting the kickoff chores today. There he is, number 37.
I'd say anything you can do to make Florida State any more tired, take that opportunity. They were in decent field position, but not great. Make them kick it again. Make this kickoff coverage team run downfield one more time.
This will be Jones at the 10. Slips one tackle and is down at the 25-yard line. From which point Miami comes on offense. Coming up tomorrow on the NFL Today, Jim Nantz, Mike Ditka, Craig James, Randy Cross, and Jerry Glanville. Join them for all the latest NFL news and information. And as of Colts, Peyton Manning and the Patriots, Drew Bledsoe gets set to square off. Marcus Allen asked to bear the last of a dying breed. And stay with the gang at halftime for the NASDAQ.com halftime report. First down and 10 as Jim Kelly enjoys his team's effort. And off to Jackson. 1 yard out to the 25-yard line. And let's go down to Jill Arrington for an injury update.
Florida State injury update on linebacker Tommy Pauly. He got a laceration on his right hand. They put some stitches in it at halftime, but he's back on the field, guys.
All right, Jill, thank you.
You know, I think, Vern, the pressure is on the Florida State defense, and in particular, the 2 inside tackles, Darnell Dockett and Jeff Womble, and they're playing at the tackle position. They've got to play better here in the second half for the Seminoles.
Second down, the toss to Jackson on a sweep. Good pursuit defensively, and he does manage to get just 1 yard as Bradley Jennings, number 44, makes the tackle. And I've been struck also, Todd, that we have not called the name of Jamal Reynolds much at all.
Yeah. They've done a good job of running the football enough to use play action. They've brought some different people at him. They've rolled away from him a little bit. You know, Miami has not done a whole lot of just straight drop back where the quarterback has either been in a shotgun or in a set position all the time, and they've kind of taken him out of the ball game because of that.
Reynolds with 1 tackle thus far, going up against Bryant McKinney. Play fake, shovel pass. Good defensive pursuit. Chris Woods, number 98.
And this is another way that you take that rush away. You invite him up the field this time. Nobody even blocks Jamal Reynolds because they want to run the shovel pass underneath him. He can't make the play on the shovel pass, but someone else did. Chris Woods does a nice job chasing from the backside, as does Tommy Polley, and they get the good pursuit.
Freddie Capshaw on the punt. Nick Maddox drifting over to his right. It will go out of bounds before he can retrieve it. And it is ruled out of bounds at the 41-yard line. A 33-yard punt. Nada on the return. 9:17 to go. Third quarter.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Suzuki, Burger King.
On first down, Winky finds his fullback, William McCray, number 36. There's a flag down as well.
Vern, watch Damian Lewis again. He's the key to this Miami defense. Watch him just explode through the center and get to Chris Weinke. Gets a little quick jump off the football, and then Weinke, all he can do is unload the thing. Offsides. That's why he was there quick. A little too quick.
Has a broken metatarsal bone in his right foot and was a game time decision as to whether he could go today, and he has gone the distance.
And he's just a key guy. He's been a starter since he's a freshman, and he is the one guy on the Miami defense that is better than anyone that Florida State has up front. And he is a real disruptive force on the inside, and he's shown that today even with the injury.
5 defensive backs for Miami, first and 5. Slip the ball to William McCray, and he rides Damian Lewis. There's a fumble, but I think it might have come after the runner was down. Indeed, that is the ruling. Ball at the 50. It'll be 3rd and 1. Dan Morgan. Dan Morgan said he grew up as a Miami fan in Pennsylvania. His dad, Dan Jr., and his mom, Cass, moved down here when he was 13 years old. His dad serves as a personal assistant to Dan Marino. 2nd down and 1. Winky out to Travis Minor. Now, is that a lateral? No, it's ruled an incomplete pass, but close.
Yeah. And that's one of their favorite plays. You read the coverage, zone defense. You look downfield first. If it's not there, get it quickly to your running back on the flare and let him run out in open space. But we've seen Robert Morgan do it twice, and now Travis Minor. You can't run with the football until you have the football.
3rd and 1. Chris Weinke, senior quarterback, has gone the distance despite the sprain in his left foot. On 3rd and 1, here comes the blitz, the toss. Minor comes right. That should be enough to move the chain.
Great cut by Travis Minor. This is just a gutsy run by Travis Minor because Miami had him outnumbered. They had more defenders in there than Florida State could block. Florida State had no tight end in here. They had 5 linemen and a fullback. Look at all these orange shirts. More guys than you can block. And watch Travis Minor see a little bit of the daylight and then cuts it right up in there for the first down. Heads up run by Travis Minor.
1st and 10. He gets a rest. Jeff Chaney is on. Winky goes from the shotgun. Stunts by the front 4 Miami. Rifle down. Caught by Anquan Bolden. No flags. Touchdown FSU.
Just what Mark Richt and the Florida State offense needed. Al Blades was victimized on that play. The free safety, the senior, it's cover 2. The corner is going to ride him for a little bit, then turn him loose to the safety, and Al Blades went for the interception. Bad angle, and Bolden makes the catch and the run. Bad angle by the free safety, Al Blades.
Munyon with the extra point. And that is not a given for Matt Munyon. He has missed 3 this year. Anquan Bolden's first touchdown of the season. It's a 17-10 game.
And now a look at this week's Suzuki Heisman Watch Update.
Tim Brando alongside Spencer Tillman here in New York. Well, he wears number 5 in your program. Last year, number 1 in rushing. This year, number 2. And trying harder for the poster child of the have-nots of college football, TCU.
And he's number 1 in another category. 31 first-half carries. He is unbelievable. 196 yards. LaDainian Tomlinson doing the job today. Boy, he's so impressive. He should be considered big time.
No doubt. If one of the quarterbacks dropped the shoe, he's there to fill it. For more information on the Suzuki Heisman Watch, log on to cbs.sportsline.com.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Suzuki, Burger King, IBM, and by the United States Army.
And there is another of the Heisman candidates for the year, Chris Winkie, the 28-year-old senior quarterback. A 48-yard touchdown pass to Anquan Bolden. Chris, who does like to dial at long distance.
He's got some guys that can run and fetch it, and he likes to throw those deep touchdowns. And all of a sudden now, out of the locker room, we have seen the explosiveness of the Seminole offense. And if you think that defense was geared up the last series, you wait and see him out there this time.
Chance Gwaltney will kick off for the Seminoles. Darrell Jones and Andre Johnson of the deep 2. This one will be taken by Jones. He runs up and grabs it at the 10. Heads right. Hurdles. 1 man. Oh, boy. He was nearly gone. Cookie Thomas may have saved the touchdown.
Good way to stem that tide and get the momentum back. A good kick return. Darrell Jones. And as you said, Vern, I mean, this is one guy away from going to the end zone. As it is, Miami with a good start and a good field position here outside the 35-yard line.
Let's see what they can do after the Jones effort. They were 3 and out on the opening series of this half. Dorsey has his backs in the eye and will throw on first down. He wants a bunch, and his receiver, Reggie Wayne, did not turn around until the ball was almost at his head.
Vern, Reggie Wayne had him on that play. That's Clinton Portis right there, one of the running backs that was sharing time. He's got 3 broken toes. He's out for about 3 weeks, and James Jackson is in the locker room getting some fluids for dehydration. Najee Davenport is the tailback in there now, and right now only one true tailback for the Hurricanes.
Play action. Dorsey lobs it out. Caught by fumble. There's a fumble, and it's going to be picked up and recovered by Florida State. Brian Allen, number 55. Tate Cody with the hit on the freshman running back, DJ Williams.
A 3 and out on the previous possession. Now a turnover on this defensive possession. Tay Cody with the hit on the freshman. He's going to knock the ball loose. DJ was protecting the football, just the helmet right on the football. And then Brian Allen, at this point, he wants to score. And then he realizes, hey, just recover it and give the football to our offense.
Seminoles open this half with a long drive, which resulted in a field goal. On their second set, they get a 48-yard touchdown. This is number 3, 6 defensive backs in for the Miami Hurricanes, and the play clock is down at 0.
Unbelievable. They come off the sideline. I mean, this isn't even between plays. Chris Wanke, as a 3-year starter, he's got to be more aware of that. That's a little surprising. Come off the sideline, you know what you want to call. It's a sudden change, yeah, with the turnover, but you can't afford to come out there and give up that 5 yards.
That is the 4th delay of game penalty against FSU in the game.
I mean, certainly the crowd noise is a factor, and you're trying to check off, but you can't afford to have that on a change of possession, first down.
1st and 15. Blitz. Max blitz. They go for Bolden right side. Single coverage downfield from Leonard Myers, number 22. But the Hurricanes brought 8 that time.
Yeah, they brought everybody and took their chances out on the corner. And it looked like there was a little miscommunication between Wenke and Bolden on that one. They had the beautiful hookup for the touchdown earlier. That one, they were a little off on each other.
2nd and 15. Jill Arrington has passed along this information. Dan Morgan is in the locker room. They're looking at his hand. That's as much as we know right now. 4-man rush. Wenke on a line behind his intended receiver, Robert Morgan. It'll be 3rd and 15, and Chris Wenke took a pop from Damian Lewis. Flag thrown.
I think they're going to get Sharon Dorsey, the tackle for Florida State, for a little unsportsmanlike getting in the face of Damian Lewis. The referees didn't think it was a late hit on Chris Wenke, but they didn't like the fact that Dorsey came over and had a little extra to say to Damian Lewis. If you want to take care of Damian Lewis, block him at the line of scrimmage. And they haven't done a very good job of that today. He's been a disruptive force for Miami. And again, a missed opportunity for Florida State. They had several in the first half. They get the turnover from their defense, great field position, and now look at it. Fumbling and stumbling their way back to a 3rd and 30 situation.
6 DBs in again for Miami. They will blitz and drop 3. Wenke with time goes deep left side for Atruz Bell. Incomplete. Good defensive coverage by Mike Rumpf. He was stride for stride with Atruz Bell.
Vern, if you want to stay as the #1 team in the country and win a national championship, you can't have this many missed opportunities that Florida State is having in this game, particularly against a team that has the same kind of athletes you do that the Miami Hurricanes have. Had some great chances here, and they have not taken advantage of them.
Well, and they've been mental mistakes,
yeah,
which is surprising.
Mostly mental, you're right.
Discipline. 4th down. Cottrell is on to punt. Santana Moss grabs it, heads right. Tackled at the 27 by O.J. Jackson. Friday on CBS. Don't miss the new show TV Guide calls electrifying entertainment with eye-popping stunts. Tim Daly stars in The Fugitive, an all-new episode Friday on CBS. 1st and 10 Miami, 17-10 with under 7 to go 3rd quarter. Darrell Jones in at wide receiver. James Jackson getting treated for dehydration. Here's Dorsey. Fires it complete out to the 42-yard line. He finds Reggie Wayne in front of Stanford Samuels.
Vernon, the last series that Miami had the ball, Cookie Thomas went out of the game hobbling. So now they've got a new defender in there. It's Stanford Samuels. He's a freshman out of Miami, Carroll City High School, and they went right after him on the 1st down play. Take a look at the end of the play, the hit on Dorsey. Jamal Reynolds there and got up shaking his right hand a little bit at the end of the play.
Najee Davenport now at tailback, and DJ Williams is the fullback. Dorsey steps up, fires it to DJ Williams. He's got a 1st down at the 46-yard line. And let's check in with Jill Arrington.
I talked to the Miami training staff. Dan Morgan is in the locker room suffering dehydration. So is James Jackson. They're both in there receiving fluids, but they should return to the game soon.
All right, Jill, thank you.
Those are 2 critical players from this Miami team on both sides of the ball. That was a good job by DJ Williams protecting the football a little bit better than the last time.
Ball at the 45, 1st and 10. Deep handoff, Najee Davenport. This one will come back.
That's an illegal motion penalty.
Appreciate the update from Jill. She had been told initially that Morgan was getting a hand looked at.
Well, prior to the snap, all start, offense, 5 yards.
We could use a couple of those in the booth.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's hot everywhere.
It's not a good look, though. Little muggy. First down and 15 after the 5-yard penalty. Santana Moss goes out to the right side. Andre King comes near side. Dorsey, Najee Davenport. Look at him struggle and fight. Back inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Derek Gibson makes the stop. Today's Rigid Tools Scholar Athlete Award goes to Joaquin Gonzalez of the University of Miami. Rigid Tools' commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the University of Miami General Scholarship Fund.
Joaquin has been such a stand-up scholar athlete for Miami. Grew up a fan of the Hurricanes since he was a little kid.
On second down, play fake. Dorsey got a man wide open. Robert Williams. First down at the 30-yard line. Beautiful job of deception in the backfield by Dorsey.
And again, they had the huge run by Najee Davenport, the good tough run. Now they go play action, run the bootleg, and nobody picks up Robert Williams. Take a look at this now. You sell the fake, Robert Williams is going to slip out here, and nobody's going to find him. Run the ball, then play action. Run the ball, then play action, and a nice, easy throw and catch.
Reggie Wayne goes wide right. Jones is wide left. First and 10 at the 29. Play fake again. Dorsey drills it. Got a man. Darryl Jones at the 23-yard line. How is Michael Vick doing? Let's get an update and go back to Tim Brendo.
All right, Vern, thank you. Michael Vick is doing just fine, thank you. Here he is pitching out to Andre Kendrick. 14 yards the scamper. 35-13 Virginia Tech. Probably the biggest fan of Miami right now outside of those in the Orange Bowl.
All right, Tim, you're absolutely right. Second down and 4 here. Hurricanes cling to a 7-point lead. 4:20 to go, third quarter. They slip it to the fullback, DJ Williams, inside the 20. That's going to be close for the first and 10.
You know, this DJ Williams has got some push behind him as a freshman. I mean, he's 235 pounds, but every time he hits it up in there on the inside, the pile moves forward. I mean, you don't see him getting knocked back very much. He is a very physically developed and strong kid for as young as he is. Came out of that great program in De La Salle and good strength and conditioning program there. He came onto a college campus ready to contribute right away.
3rd and 1. Probably less than a yard needed to move the chain. Davenport is the deep back in the eye. And Dorsey will throw. Goes for the corner for Reggie Wayne. Out of bounds. Thomas defending. It'll be 4th down.
Remember, Thomas was out for a couple plays after being injured a little bit. He's back in and head up on Reggie Wayne. And what Thomas does so well here is know that, hey, I've got the sideline that I can use as an extra defender. Keep pushing him to the sideline, forcing him to the outside, and the ball just a little too far outside for Reggie Wayne. Good job of Cleveland Thomas using the sideline to help him.
Todd Sievers is one of 2 kicking field goals today. The redshirt sophomore tries this from 37 yards away. Got it just inside the right upright. Young man who came from Ankeny, Iowa to gather in a little sun and play for the Hurricanes. Time now for the Exxon scoring update. Najee Davenport got the first touchdown of the game, a 22-yard pass reception from Ken Dorsey to put Miami up by 1. Then DJ Williams, a 1-yard run. And toward the latter part of the half, Todd Sievers with a 31-yard field goal. That made it 17-0. Munyon kicked a field goal to get Florida State on the board in the third quarter. And Quan Bolden caught this touchdown pass from Chris Winkie to make it 17-10. And then just a moment ago, Sievers from 37 yards out, his second field goal, and that's how we got here. We are at 20-10 in a pretty decent ball game.
And that was a huge turnaround right there for the Miami Hurricanes. You remember the Florida State got the turnover, great field position for the Seminoles. They went backwards, got nothing out of that drive, and Miami responded by coming right down the field and adding to their lead with the field goal. So a huge turnaround momentum-wise for the Miami Hurricanes here in the third quarter.
Todd Sievers will kick off. Miami up by 10. 3:28 to go, quarter number 3. This is the ninth time, I beg your pardon, that these two teams have met when both were ranked in the top 10. The 9th time, and Miami has won 5 of the previous 8. They lead it by 10 here. That one out of bounds. Move it back.
Butch Davis trying to say that Travis Minor tipped the ball before it went out of bounds, but the official right there had a little better shot of it than Butch did, I think.
Let's see what kind of shot we've got. Here's a look. Did he or did he not? Wow. That's debatable. Maybe Butch had a pretty good view. I know Travis Minor did not argue with the call. Got out of the way in a hurry. What a pop. Jeff Cheney hit by Jonathan Vilma, who is playing in the spot normally occupied by Dan Morgan. Morgan continues to get treatment for dehydration. Vilma, a freshman high schooler out of Coral Gables, Florida. There are 28 guys on these respective sidelines. 28 who played against each other in one combination or another in high school. Extraordinary. 2nd down and 12. Time called. Seven of those players played at Miami Carroll City. You see 4 from FSU and 3 from Miami of the 28 in all.
And that adds to the intensity. I mean, these guys, a lot of these guys have known each other since they were kids, you know, playing midget football together in high school against each other and with each other, and just adds fuel to this already intense rivalry.
Right side, caught. Bolden almost breaks a tackle again of Al Blades. It was Bolden and Blades who got together on what became a touchdown.
Good read by Chris Wenke. This is a corner blitz, and so Al Blades has to come over and make coverage. Watch the corner blitz here. That means he's got to come over and play man-to-man. Wenke sees it, Bolden sees it, and they get rid of the football quickly, and he almost turns it into a big play again. Blades able to hang on to the jersey.
1st and 10 after the game. Garrett Mood, the center, looks back and makes sure they're in agreement on the snap count. Hand off to Cheney, and he picks up 4 down to the 50-yard line. And let's check in with Jill Arrington.
Florida State's offensive coordinator, Coach Mark Richt, knows all about this Florida State-Miami rivalry. That's because he was the backup to Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was injured. He had to go in and play. So if Outson has to go in, he can get some good advice from Coach Richt about what it's like to play in this big rivalry.
All right, thank you, Jill. 2nd down. Mark Richt actually got a start for the Miami Hurricanes against FSU in '82. Here's a pump fake and a little mix-up on the out route. Robert Morgan and Chris Wenke had not read the same playbook.
3rd down
Chris Wenke was looking at Robert Morgan all the way on this play, but Snoop Minnis is very upset because he thought he was going to be open. You see at the end of the play, his defender looked in at the quarterback, and Snoop said, "Chris, look over here, baby."
3rd and 6. Wenke goes deep left side. Ed Bell is open, and he put a little too much drill on the ball.
That's exactly right. The less air you put under the ball, the more perfect the throw has to be. And he had Bell open right in a nice spot, but again, just has to be a perfect throw if you don't put enough air under it.
Now that brings on Keith Cottrell, his 5th punt of the day. Santana Moss awaits the punt at the 10-yard line.
And I think Florida State's inability to run the football, only 54 yards in the game, has really hurt their offense.
Moss will take this at the 6. Good downfield coverage, and he is tackled at the 9-yard line. Corralled by Brian Sawyer, number 89. Rufus Brown.
See Santana Moss walking off the field like that. He's got a little look of discouragement in his face. You know, I mean, he knows he's a big-time player. He hasn't had a big game yet. There's still a lot of time left. And he certainly has the ability to make big plays for Miami. I wouldn't be surprised to see Larry Coker trying to get his guy back in the game. You see 4 catches, 74 yards. He needs to become more of a factor here in the second half for Miami.
Davenport and Williams continue in the backfield. Here's Dorsey back into the flat for DJ Williams. And a nice job of defense.
Wow.
By Derek Gibson.
Wow. Nice play. I mean, this is a big, strong safety. One of the best strong safeties in college football. Expected to be a high NFL draft choice. 6'2", 207. Played his high school football here in Miami at Killian High School. And watch him just stand up, the bigger DJ Williams, and just keep driving. That is good open field work by the strong safety.
Dorsey for the day, 17 of 26. 215 yards and a touchdown. They slipped the ball up the middle to Najee Davenport. He's out across. And well, depending on the spot, probably 4 yards.
And that's the 3rd time in the ball game that they have faked the reverse to Santana Moss. And Florida State so far has paid good attention to it. I mean, they know what he's capable of doing. But one of these times, he's going to get the football in that little action. And all they're hoping for is that soon Florida State's going to forget about him. They're going to just know that, hey, they haven't given it to him yet. And one of these times they're going to slip him the football.
3rd and 3 with 13 seconds to go before the end of the 3rd quarter. I think Coach Davis wants them to let the quarter end. And they do have time in the play clock to allow that to happen. So that is the end of 3 with our score. 20-10. We'll return to the Orange Bowl right after this message and a word from your local station. Those of a certain vintage, those of us, and a degree of accrued wisdom recall Jackie Gleason, his theme song Melancholy Serenade, and how terrific his show was from over in Miami Beach. We begin quarter number 4, and make note of this, the Hurricanes in the last 15 years have lost twice in 134 games with a 3rd quarter lead. 3rd and 3 here. Rush coming, Dorsey hit, incomplete. Dorsey took a pop from behind.
Nice play by Chris Hope, the free safety, getting in there and knocking the football down.
4th and 3, and it looked, Todd, at the opening of this second half, like Florida State was just going to storm right back in and grab the lead.
They were trying to seize the lead and the momentum, and what happened was they didn't take advantage of the turnover. They made a few more mistakes, and again, I think too many mental mistakes by this Florida State team. You can't fool around with a team like Miami. They're too talented. You've got to concentrate better.
That's a short punt. Very short. It does take a Miami roll, but that only adds an additional 3 yards. So Freddie Capshaw, disappointed with that one, winds up going only 30 yards. 20-10. We'll be right back. 14:46 to go. Dan Morgan has returned to the field, number 44. Good news for the Miami defense. Winky will get the snap from the 43 on 1st and 10. Safety blitz. Winky deep right side. A flag is down. The ball is knocked loose, intended for Menace at the 13-yard line. Leonard Myers with good coverage. So a lot going on in that play.
Flag thrown deep in the Miami secondary. Would indicate it's going to go against the Hurricanes.
Illegal participation on the defense. 12 men on the field, 15 yards, first down.
It's a good way to slow down the Seminole offense. Play with 12 if you can get away with it. Take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can't do that.
So the Seminoles have a first down now at the 32-yard line. Stunts, Winky, little flare, incomplete. Second time they've dropped that one. Travis Minor, the intended receiver. We want to take you back to a moment before we went to break. Watching the right side, the punt, and then the Miami coach's booth. As soon as that punt hit the ground, they were back to
bye. No, sell. They were working the phones, weren't they?
Second down and 10. Again, stunts by the defensive line. And again, good coverage by Morgan. And a flag thrown. This might go either way.
You know, Vern, I think it's going to go on Leonard Myers, but the only problem he had here is he read this play so quickly. He anticipated so quickly that he was there waiting for the football and had contact with Menace. When you watch this again, Leonard Myers is all over this. I mean, he reads it so quickly that he's just there before the ball can get there. Here's Myers, one-on-one against Menace. Watch him read it and get there, but the ball's not there yet. And he just kind of stands there and makes contact. I don't know. I think you could have let this one go. He played it so well. He was in position. Yeah, there was some contact. I don't think enough to call pass interference, though.
Nevertheless, it is called 1st and 10.
Florida State just wasted a timeout. Travis Minor called the timeout, not Chris Wanke. And again, more confusion and another mental error.
Time is called with 14:30 to go.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen, Sprint PCS, CBSMarketWatch.com, and by the Home Depot.
We are back in the Orange Bowl, 20-10. Florida State down, but they have a 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's Winky. Comes left to Minor, one-on-one out in the flat. And knocked out of bounds by Jonathan Vilma, number 51. Defensively, Miami going with 6 defensive backs, as they have done much of the game.
Take a look at that. 30 yards on this drive thanks to Miami penalties. We've seen Florida State hurt their cause. Miami hurting themselves as Greg Schiano looks on.
Menace wide right. Bolden wide left. They hand it off up the middle on 2nd down and 8. Blades and Morgan. There's Dan Morgan. Double-digit tackles again today. He is going to become the all-time leading tackler in Miami history. The record currently held by George Myra Jr. And Morgan closing in on it. 3rd and 6. Cheney's in. And again, late additions to the offensive lineup. Damian Lewis comes across.
Wow, this could be an easy 5 yards. Play clock running down. Florida State obviously confused a little bit. And Damian Lewis may have just given him 5 easy ones.
Yep.
Butch Davis, what he's mad at is saying you're not allowed to run players in late like that and have that many people on the field at the same time. But there was obvious confusion from Florida State. But Damian Lewis is lined up right over the nose of the football. He knows he can't move until the ball is snapped. So a little mental error by Damian. Again, they don't huddle, so look at all this action going on. Guys running on, guys running off. Called to play at the line of scrimmage, and Florida State very fortunate that time.
So the Seminoles go from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 1, which changes the complexion of this
big
play.
difference.
3rd and 1, down by 10. William McCray, the fullback, lunges over right guard. Appeared to have enough to give SFU a fresh series of downs. In this drive, 35 yards in penalties now against Miami.
And you called it, that last one. That going from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 1. That is huge.
Second game of the doubleheader coming up from Starkville. Auburn against Mississippi State. Jeff Chaney is the deep back in the eye. Timeout has been called by Miami. So the Hurricanes use one of their allotment of 3. Time is called with 13:21 to go. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl. 1st and goal, Florida State at the 6-yard line. Jeff Chaney is the tailback. He gets the toss with McCray leading the way. Excellent pursuit by the Miami defense. And Chaney with a fine job just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Quincy Hips has done a nice job today getting penetration into the Florida State backfield. He gets the penetration. You don't get to hear his name over the PA system because he's not making the tackles, but he's causing the play to go back a different direction, and someone else is finishing up the job.
Adruz Bell is on the field now. He comes wide to the left side. Robert Morgan is split off wide right, number 87. 2nd and goal. The handoff. They split the ball to Chaney, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage plus 2 feet.
You know, and I get back to that same point I made about the Florida State offensive line. They're excellent pass protectors. They're very effective out of the shotgun. But when you get them down inside the 10-yard line, they can't turn it on and off to be good run blockers and power blockers up there. They just kind of lean on people. They play pass protection. They're more of a finesse-oriented offensive line. And when it comes time to try to push people out of there and run the football, they just aren't as effective.
3rd and 6. 3rd and goal from the 6. 4-person rush. Screen right side. McCray. Great job defensively by Miami. Led by Leonard Myers, number 22.
This is just a matter of some defensive players wanting it a little more than the offensive players, because Florida State is going to run the screen to the fullback right here, and they're going to have guys out in position to make the plays. He's got a little escort, but watch Myers fight off the block and get the tackle. They had guys out in front of the ball carrier, but great pursuit by the defensive backs of Miami.
Matt Munyon missed it. The distance of the field goal attempt matched Leonard Myers' number. He flat pulled it from 22. We had told you about the problems in place kicking from Florida State.
So much of it mental, Vern. This should be a chip shot for any Division I college kicker. Never has a chance. And Munyon right away, I mean, knew it as soon as he kicked it. And this is not a confident kid kicking the football. You can see his reaction right away. Agonizing.
Handoff, James Jackson on 1st down. Hydrated now.
Yeah. Has some fluids in his system, fresh legs.
Take a look at Butch Davison and Greg Schiano reacting to the missed field goal.
Another stop for the Miami Hurricanes. And remember how many yards, 40 yards they gave on penalties on that drive. Florida State shouldn't even have been down there because of the penalties. Then they get the missed field goal.
And now the Hurricanes with 108 yards rushing. First time in the last 6 years they've been in excess of 100 yards against Florida State. Santana Moss to the 45. The tackle made by Cookie Thomas.
You know, I don't want to take anything away from the effort that Miami has put forth today because they are outplaying Florida State right now. But it's very hard to turn it on and off if you're a football team and eliminate mistakes and penalties and mental breakdowns. You can get away with it against Maryland or against Louisville. Florida State was able to do that. They were sloppy in both of those games in certain respects. They aren't getting away with it today against a much better Miami team.
On 2nd and 1. Jackson. Well, just remember the Street Busters from Miami going back to '89 when Notre Dame came in having won 23, and twice they've stopped Florida State. In 1991 in Tallahassee when the Seminoles were ranked first, and again in 1990 prior to that when they were ranked second. First down and 10. Winky and the crew have won 17 in a row, 26 in a row regular season games. Hand off. Jackson to the 49-yard line. Now Butch Davis in his career at Miami, winless against Florida State and Virginia Tech. Lost one to Penn State, 1-1 against UCLA. Been a thorn in his side and a point of criticism.
And this game here, the Florida State game, is the measuring stick for Miami. Everybody asks the question, is Miami back? Do they belong back in the upper echelon of college football? And this is the game that determines that.
Jackson continues to run. Well, we talked to Chris Winky yesterday and asked if he thought Miami was back. He said, yeah, I believe they are, but I don't think they'll really be back until they beat us.
5 in a row the Seminoles have been able to win. It's gotten closer each year. I mean, the margin of victory for Florida State has gone down. And in this case, now 8 minutes and 50 seconds away from reversing the trend, the Miami Hurricanes are. And Ken Dorsey doing a nice job of using the clock right now, too. Making the clock work against Florida State as well.
3rd and 4. That one intercepted, dropped. Oh, baby.
May have been the best play that Santana Moss made this entire football game right there. Santana Moss just made an outstanding play, turning into a defensive back and knocking the football away from Chris Hope. Hope has this interception on the rebound. Now watch Santana Moss knock it out of his hands. That's a sure interception, and Santana Moss becomes a defensive back. May have been the best play he's made in the entire football game.
Freddie Capshaw shanked one 30 yards last time out. Gets the good snap, no pressure, and sails this one. And a fair catch call. The ball will bounce and go into the end zone. 49 yards on the punt. Touchback. We'll be right back. Chris Winky said one reason he came back for his senior season was to try and win a second national championship. It is in doubt right now. Seminoles down by 10 with 8:24 to go. Handoff. Travis Minor for a couple to the 23-yard line. Dan Morgan with the tackle.
Now, right now, Bobby Bowden has to be thinking, too, we've got to score twice to win or tie this game. We need to score this first touchdown as quick as possible so we don't have to count on a field goal necessarily to put it into overtime. Maybe we can win with 2 touchdowns, but we better score the first one as quick as possible.
Snap and a 4-man rush. Winky deep right side. Menace up in the air. Edward Reed came over and mistimed it, and he's down. He might have knocked the breath out.
This is a good job by Ed Reed coming over. Cover 2 again. Corner turns him loose. There's a soft spot in the defense, and watch Reed come over and get right at the play, get up and get a hand on the football. Good effort by Ed Reed. Minnis goes high, goes higher than Reed, but Reed able to get a hand on the football. I think you're right. I think he did just knock the wind out of himself.
Yep. Doubleheader for you today on CBS, and coming next, a dandy from the SEC, the 15th ranked Auburn Tigers go into Starkville to take on the 20th ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs. That's next on CBS. And the crowd here, 80,905. This is the 3rd largest crowd in the 63-year history of the Orange Bowl. They've rather enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, they have. Big 3rd down play, 3rd and 7, Vern. Miami, or Florida State rather, 3 of 13 on 3rd downs today overall.
Winky, deep in the middle, incomplete. And Miami will have a chance to work on the clock a little more. That one intended for Anquan Bolden.
Miami showed blitz that time, dropped into a zone, and Wenke had enough time, just not very accurate on the middle throw to Anquan Bolden.
Santana Moss awaits the punt at the 38-yard line. Cottrell back. Moss drifts back and grabs it at the 27. Somewhat tentative on the return. 12 yards after the 50-yard punt. Tonight on CBS begins with the new drama That's Life, starring Paul Sorvino, Ellen Burstyn, and Heather Page Kent. And Chuck Norris stars in the season premiere of Walker, Texas Ranger, followed by the series premiere of The District, starring Emmy winner Craig T. Nelson. Don't miss it. All tonight on CBS. 7:26 to go. Miami led 17-0 at the half. Florida State scored 10 unanswered with ease to open the 3rd quarter. Here's Dorsey. Lobs it out for his tight end, and good coverage from Brian Allen on Ivan Mercer. And remember what Butch Davis was telling us yesterday, that Dorsey, a kind of quiet-mannered young man, is beginning to develop a little bit of an attitude as a quarterback.
Well, he's beginning to assert himself a little more as the leader of this football team, which the quarterback has to do. And you know, he's been a little more willing to jump on a receiver if he doesn't run the right route or cuts the route short. And you know, that's what the great quarterbacks here at Miami have done. They have to be the leader, the focal point of this offense.
Here's Dorsey with a quick setup, finds the tight end. Mercer rumbles across the 50, and with emphasis gets a 1st down after the pickup of 12 yards. Chris Hope with the tackle.
Boy, just made a huge completion there on 2nd and 10. What has Ken Dorsey done today? He's made some nice throws off the play action. The first touchdown pass to Najee Davenport. He's had poise in the pocket. He's stood in there. He's made some good throws downfield. And he's been the leader of the football team. He's protected the football, and he's done a nice job running the offense.
And he has yet to throw an interception this season. Najee Davenport. See DJ Williams get stiffened that time as he tried to lay the block. Well, the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. In the last 12 meetings between these two teams, the team with the most rushing yards has won. And for the first time in 6 years this afternoon, Miami has gone over 100 yards. For complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
You know, both these teams have good, talented runners, Vern, and what that stat comes down to is that the Miami offensive line played better than the Florida State offensive line today, no question.
Dorsey flings it. And it is incomplete. in the neighborhood of Darryl Jones.
You talk about this Miami offensive line. Bryant McKinney has done a nice job blocking against Jamal Reynolds. Joaquin Gonzalez, the other tackle, you know, the feature position on this Florida State defense is their defensive ends, and they have been very quiet in the ball game. They've blocked well enough to run the football for over 100 yards, and then the play action has just killed Florida State.
3rd and 10. Screen pass, left side. Jackson never had a chance. Hit in the backfield by Chris Hope. It'll be 4th down. Tommy Pauly was also out there, number 29. There's Pauly. Fourth and 14.
Well, Reynolds got good pressure, and then Pauly read the screen right away. I mean, he knew the screen was coming. They were trying to get the ball to James Jackson, and he's there for the good wrap-up tackle. It's a big punt for Capshaw. He needs to get a good one downed inside the 20-yard line here for his defense.
Gets it away, but it goes sideways. See what kind of a roll he gets. He gets a Miami roll, and this one's going to look terrific on the stat sheet.
Well done. Under pressure, under duress, gets it out of there and downs it inside the 15-yard line.
Sunday on 60 Minutes, Tina Sinatra on her father's last day. The woman she wishes he hadn't married and what he and the mob did for Jack Kennedy. That's one of the topics Sunday on 60 Minutes. So it has come down to this on this first Saturday in October. Florida State, the defending national titleists, last loss in the championship game of '98 to Tennessee. Last lost in regular season in September of '98 to North Carolina State. They trail by 10. Winky goes upstairs, and it is caught. Menace.
Leonard Myers was in great position. I mean, he was step for step. He just mistimed his jump a little bit, and Snoop went up over the top of him and got the football. Leonard Myers was right there, but Snoop just a hair higher and got the ball out of the air.
A gain of 42, first down at the 47. Winky steps up, settles for Atruz Bell out of the wing. And he is out of bounds at the 35. A gain of 11 and a first down.
We talked about some of the problems Florida State has had today, and a lot of miscues, a lot of lack of concentration plays, delay of games, 4 drop balls, interceptions. Of course, he had to fumble and missed 2 4th down conversions in the first half, and then the missed field goal here just recently. Tough to win when you make those kind of mistakes.
3 wideouts. 2 backs. Winky into the flat, one-on-one out there. Cheney slips a tackle of Buchanan, then slips another tackle of Vilma, and is finally down at the 29-yard line as Buchanan came back.
Nice looking drive for Florida State, but the thing you have to remember, the clock is still moving. It's 4 minutes and 30 seconds now. They're just getting there. 4:30 for Florida State, and they have to score twice, down by 10.
Second down and 4. Florida State has 2 timeouts left. On 2nd and 4, Cheney wiggles to the right, cuts back for a first down at the 23-yard line. Al Blades with the tackle for Miami. And the clock stops momentarily while the first down chain is reset.
I think Florida State needs to speed things up again. Again, this is a no-huddle offense, not necessarily a hurry-up offense. But I think they need to go into hurry-up mode here so that they can score quickly and then not have to worry about onside kick or anything. Kick the football and play defense. But, of course, they have to score a touchdown first.
3 down linemen. Morgan rushing with the linebackers. This one in the flat for Minor. And Buchanan forces him out of bounds, which does stop the clock with a second less than 4 minutes remaining. 2nd and 5. Robert Morgan laid onto the field. He's in the slot to the right. Miami rushes 3. Winky drills it toward the goal line. Bolden, first and goal at the 4-yard line after the catch.
But they're down in their dead zone again, Vern. Inside the 5-yard line. They have not been very good down here so far in the ball game. Look at them in the red zone. 5 possessions, 0 touchdowns.
Travis Minor, the deep back in the eye. They slip it to the fullback, McCray. He gets 2. It'll be second and goal at the 2. 3:45 remaining.
And that's just fine with Greg Schiano, because even if they score, if they stop them on a couple plays, it just means more time getting eaten off the clock. We're down at 3 minutes and 30 seconds now, and again, not a lot of urgency on the part of Florida State.
Minnesota. Winky throws the fade in the end zone and overthrows Minnis, who was well covered by Leonard Myers. 3rd down. $80,900 here for the rematch. FSU and Miami. Nick Maddox comes on the field now. He'll be a slot to the left on 3rd and goal. Miami rushes 3 into the end zone. Touchdown, Bolden, his 2nd of the day.
Burn 3-man rush is all, and they drop 8. You shouldn't be able to find an easy seam when they're dropping 8 with no depth to cover, but Bolden able to find a little hole in there and get the touchdown.
The extra point is not a given, but Munyon does knock it home. And that cuts the lead to 3, 20-17. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in regulation.
Bob.
Claire.
Bob.
Claire.
Michael.
Michael. Huh?
Bob? Claire?
Want your own monster truck? You can win one during Napa's Monster Truck Giveaway, or win one of over 5,000 mini monster trucks. Plus, save on hundreds of items. Enter at a participating Napa Auto Parts store today.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want. Plus all the salad and breadsticks for $7.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Enterprise? Hi, my car's out of commission, so I'm out of commission.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up.
This is great.
Drive you to our place and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Tina Sinatra on her father's last days, the woman she wishes he hadn't married, and what he and the mob did for Jack Kennedy. 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Anquan Bolden with his 2nd touchdown catch, one 48 yards, this one 2 yards. A 9-play Florida State drive, 89 yards. The big one was the scramble catch as Leonard Myers went up for the interception, and Snoop Minnis caught one for 42. And that helped propel Florida State the rest of the distance for the touchdown. Now, 3:15 to go. Both teams 2 timeouts left. FSU with a 17-game win streak on the line.
If you're Florida State here, Vern, you're thinking, let's get great coverage, make them start inside the 20, and then hope our defense can get the ball back quickly. If you're Miami, you're saying, James Jackson, you've been our horse today. You got hydrated in the locker room. We need you right now on this drive.
Here's Chance Gwaltney's kick. Comes left. Touchback.
James Jackson, 22 carries for 92 yards right now, and coming into the ball game, only Maryland's Lamont Jordan, the only running back to gain more than 45 yards against this Florida State defense. And it doesn't matter what James has done now. This drive is where it counts. They need to eat up the clock, make some first downs, and keep the football on the ground if they can. And that guy knows it too. I mean, he knows what he's going to see.
Mickey Andrews, the longtime defensive coordinator with Bobby Bowden at Florida State. Jackson and Davenport are the backs in the eye. And the formation tight to the left. They're throwing. And it's tipped and incomplete. Are you surprised?
A little bit, I am. You know, that stops the clock. But I know Larry Coker's thinking, hey, Florida State's expecting us to run the football. Let's see if we can get a quick one, a big first down on the first play. Watch the pressure inside and see who gets a hand on the football. I think it was Brian Allen, the linebacker, was the guy who got his hand on the football. There it is right there, and knocked it away from the receiver, Wayne.
And now 2nd down and 10. Dorsey yet to throw an interception this season. Reggie Wayne starts in motion. Now will come back to the right. Now they hand it off to Jackson. Looks for yardage. Surges across the 25 and is down at the 26. Brings up a 3rd and 4 with 2:55 to go and the clock running.
Florida State has 2 timeouts left. So they'll try to save them as long as they can.
Second game of the doubleheader coming up from Starkville. Auburn against Mississippi State. 3rd and 4. Moss comes right. Wayne goes left. Jackson and Davenport behind Dorsey.
Play of the ball game right here, Vern.
FSU sending forward. Quick flip. Davenport gets a downfield block. Fumbles the ball. A scramble at the 48. Who got it? Florida State. Brian Allen.
Vern, I said this was going to be the play of the ball game, and it may very well be. It looked like Miami was perfect. Najee Davenport, the catch across the middle. Easy first down and more, but watch the end of the play. The ball gets stripped out. Tay Cody rips it out, and Brian Allen falls on it. Started out like a great play for Miami, maybe a backbreaker. Turns into a golden opportunity for the Seminoles. Tay Cody, the senior. Brian Allen, the senior. Coming through for Mickey Andrews' defense.
2:14 to go. Ball at the 48. Winky at quarterback. 3 wideouts and 2 running backs. And again, Miami will rush only 3. Winky, right side, drop McCray. 2nd and 10. 2:10 to go. My, oh my.
We knew it was going to be good, didn't we, partner?
2nd and 10. Winky drifting back, looking deep left side. Venus is wide open at the 35. He moves the ball inside the 30 to the 29 as Dan Morgan went for the tomahawk.
And how big is that missed field goal looming now? They're down 3. Plus, what's Bobby Bowden thinking? Are we looking to send this to overtime and try another field goal? Or are we going to really play aggressively for a touchdown? I think they're playing aggressively for the touchdown and try to win it on this possession.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Now 4-person rush. Winky pumps once, comes out, lobs it for McCray, incomplete. 2nd and 10 again. 1:43 to go. Recall that Matt Munyon, the freshman walk-on, missed a field goal from 22 yards out earlier. What must be going through his mind now? That was the field goal attempt, and it was ugly. Second and 10. 6 DBs. Play fake. Winky down the middle. Got a man. Touchdown. A Cruz Bell.
Vern, remember Chris Winky Wanky's first interception, same play, down the middle of the field to Atrus Bell. He overthrew it. It was intercepted by Ed Reed. This time, perfect throw to Bell in the middle of the field. Touchdown, Florida State.
Extra point is up and good. Chris Winkie said he came back to try and win a second national title. The Trans still may be alive.
All right, who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I figured out how to link up 23 Bradleys, 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, 4 medevac units, and 7,000 troops on the move. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, Army Reserve.
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best. Head to MVP.com for all the sports and outdoor gear you're looking for. MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
24-20 Florida State. Let's go back to the touchdown. Cover 2 again. These safeties here. Big open spot in the middle. Atrus Bell on the post pattern. Wanky missed him earlier in the game. This time perfectly thrown, and Bell takes it into the end zone. Chris Wanky, 450 yards passing now. 3 touchdowns to go along with those earlier interceptions. What a comeback by the senior quarterback.
Here's the kick. Waltney. And they will run it out. Darrell Jones at the 20, at the 30, and out of bounds at the 32-yard line. The Hurricanes were up by 17 at the half and seemingly had this one in control. There's Lewis. On a 3rd and 4, Najee Davenport catches a first down pass, has the ball at the 48-yard line, but is popped by Tay Cody, fumbles, and FSU comes from behind. Here's Dorsey, 1st and 10.
Plenty of time left, Vern, a minute 32.
Dorsey, Santana Moss circles right, will try and get out of bounds, does. Derek Gibson with the tackle. Stops the clock with a first down at the 45, a gain of 13.
This is Santana Moss time right here. I mean, before it was James Jackson's time trying to run the clock out. Now, this time belongs to Santana Moss. They need big plays. A field goal does them no good. They need a touchdown, and number 6 is a guy who can make some plays for them.
Number 6 is in the slot right now. Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne just to his left. Here's Dorsey to his tight end, and Mercer backs out of bounds at the 49-yard line, and that conserves a little more time on the clock. It stops with 1:19 remaining.
Nice job by Mercer getting out of bounds. And again, the poise of young Ken Dorsey. We've seen the poise of Chris Wanky, and we've seen the poise of Ken Dorsey today in his best challenge today. And this is it right now. The game is on the line, a minute 19, and he has 2 timeouts left at midfield.
2nd and 5. Dorsey has Reggie Wayne at the 33. Clock stops while they move the chain. A gain of 17.
Nice timing throw that time by Dorsey. Connecting with his favorite target this season, Reggie Wayne.
1:12 to go, and the clock restarted. Dorsey comes right, and they get out of bounds and stop the clock with 1:03 to go. It's Jeremy Shockey, the backup tight end, number 88, with his 2nd catch.
You know, Mickey Andrews, he wants the clock to run, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him use a timeout if Miami gets another play, because he's got to do something to stop this rhythm that Ken Dorsey's in right now.
Auburn, Mississippi State underway. We go there when this one's in the history books.
Jamal Reynolds, where are you? This is when Florida State needs their defensive end to make a play.
On second down, the blitz comes. Wayne goes in the corner. And just a little bit off on the timing. 3rd and 4.
David Warren applying a little pressure inside, and you see the end of the play, just thrown a hair outside. Here's the hit on Dorsey. It was an inside stunt by David Warren, and got there and got into the chest of the quarterback.
Moss and King head to the left. Wayne comes right. 3rd and 4. Dorsey down the middle, man. Moss first and goal at the 7-yard line. 50 seconds to go. Timeout called.
Good protection up front. The offensive line gives the quarterback time to find Santana Moss, and Miami is in business inside the 10.
Time call. Hope you'll come back with us. Think you might.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $7.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Only one can be the best.
To treat athlete's foot, it's Lamisil AT with full prescription strength. These take 4 weeks of treatment. Lamisil AT cures it with just 1. 3 months later, you're still athlete's foot free. Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
There's a little town where people work just once a week. And all the locals know your name.
Hey, Steve. Junior. The usual? You know it.
This town's called NFL.com, and you can be there with the new Smart Visa cards with remarkable chip technology. Because with Visa, you can buy anything from NFL.com, where they don't take American Express, not even Blue.
.50 seconds remaining. 24-20, State on top. But a first down and goal just inside the 8. And after Santana Moss's catch, we had some conversation of an unpleasant nature in the Florida State secondary. Stanford Samuels, Chris Hope. Moss and King go wide left. Wayne comes wide right. One running back, that's Jackson. And motion, my gosh, from the junior Joaquin Gonzalez, number 73.
And Vern, they were trying to go on a quick count. I mean, this was going to be a first sound signal, so you knew it was going to be quick, but Joaquin just a little over anxious. Here he is right here. You see Dorsey's not even under the center yet, so it's going to be a quick count. And Joaquin.
That is the 13th penalty in the ball game against Miami. Now first and goal from the 13-yard line. King and Moss left. Dorsey back. Has time. Goes into the end zone. Touchdown. Shockey, the backup tight end. Oh, my gracious. He is a junior college transfer from Ada, Oklahoma. Played last year for Northeastern JC. Could he have imagined? Sievers with the extra point.
Shockey, here he is right here. So much attention on the wideouts. The tight end against Brian Allen, one of the best defensive players on this team. He's beaten, and the ball is delivered where it needs to be. And a huge touchdown for the Hurricane. Again, so much attention paid to Santana Moss, the wideouts, the tight end, one-on-one on Brian Allen, and a perfect throw by Ken Dorsey.
Shockey with the touchdown catch. And Dorsey takes a beating but doesn't mind. Ken Dorsey, 6 of 7 on the drive, which went 68 yards in 51 seconds.
We talked about his poise. We talked about his savvy. Bobby Bowden knows this young quarterback doesn't play like a young quarterback. Maturity beyond his years, with a couple of the former Miami greats here to watch him, Bernie Kosar and Jim Kelly. How'd the Miami coaches like it? Good call, Larry Coker.
Jeff Cheney, Travis Minor, the deep man. 46 seconds to go. Florida State with 2 timeouts left. Severs with a kick. And this will be returned, taken by Minor at the 1. Back to the 15, spilled as he crosses the 20, and is down at the 22-yard line. The tackle made by Aaron Moser. Jeremy Shockey.
You said it, Vern. Would he have ever dreamed of it? Mercer, the more physical tight end. Shockey, the more versatile receiving guy. And what a play for Jeremy Shockey.
42 seconds to go.
Florida State has 2 timeouts. 42 seconds.
Miami will rush 3. Winky. Clock continues to run unless they use one of their timeouts, and they have now stopped the clock with 37 seconds to go as Robert Morgan makes the tackle. Makes the catch, and Dan Morgan makes the tackle. Every once in a while you find yourself caught with 2 too many Morgans.
My turn.
The power and performance of rigid wet dry vacs. Built so heavy duty they carry a lifetime warranty. Like our 16-gallon vac that converts to a 210-mile-per-hour blower in seconds. And the Home Depot's got it for just $99 every day. Rigid. Buy it at the Home Depot.
(27-24) with 37 seconds to go. Today's player of the game presented by Salomon Smith Barney, and this has gone back and forth. It's going to be Ken Dorsey. Watch in December when Salomon Smith Barney presents the CBS Sports College Football Player of the Year award show. Here is Winky into the flat. Travis Minor will try to scoot out of bounds. He does and stops the clock with 31 seconds to go. Philip Buchanan was right there.
Vern, we've seen Munyon miss 1 field goal today, but he did make a 44-yarder in their last game against Maryland. So he's got the leg to kick one at that distance. That will require Florida State to hit about 3 more passes of significant yardage.
Second down and 10, or first and 10. The sign was wrong. Here's the catch by Minor, and he's got a first down at the 45-yard line. Things happening so quickly that the down marker had not been changed, and it indicated second down. That was a first down play and a pickup of 23. Here is Matt Munyon.
They're putting him on red alert right now.
First and 10. 1 timeout left. Winky. Oh, what a pop. Leonard Myers timed it perfectly. He paid a bit of a price, but he knocked the ball loose from Anquan Bolden.
Well, you called it. I mean, he did pay a price on this. Leonard Myers is going to come over the top on this and times it perfectly and separates Bolton from the football. But he got the worst of that collision. Big time play from the senior out of Fort Lauderdale. And, you know, there was question whether he could play in the ball game. Had a little ankle problem. And if he has to come out now, which he will have to, and he appears to be okay. May have knocked the wind out of himself. We've seen a couple of those today.
Munyon had that career long of 44 last week. In order to get to that spot and give him a career equaling 44-yarder, Florida State still needs about 20 yards.
Yeah. They need to get to the 27-yard line to attempt a 44-yard field goal.
2nd and 10. 18 seconds to go. Winky comes left. He's got a man open. It's Menace at the 32. 10 seconds to go.
Clock stops while they move the chains. You got to do something quick here. Chris Wanke, he's got a first down. He can kill the clock. He's got the 1 timeout. The clock is moving right now, and they're still bringing people on the field.
5 seconds to go. 4. Now the clock is stopped with 5 seconds remaining.
Unbelievable. They've got to try the field goal now. Confusion in the last 10 seconds. It's happened a lot to Florida State today. This one, just mind-boggling.
Now the ball is at the 32.
They had plenty of time, Vern, to at least throw one more completion to make it an easier attempt on the field goal. Or even take a shot at the end zone if they wanted to. As it turns out, they had to waste the timeout and try the long field goal.
This will be either 49 or 50 for the tie, depending on the spot. I think it's going to be 49.
We saw poor clock management at the end of the first half by Florida State, and again here at the end of the ball game. And it's just very, very uncharacteristic.
Matt Munyon, walk-on freshman, not listed in the press book. You don't find his picture. And Miami's going to try and ice some already frayed nerves. They call timeout. And Munyon's going to try and, well, Keith Cottrell is going to trot over to the side. Remember 1991?
35-yard field goal to win it. Good snap. Here's the kick. It is up. It is no good. Florida State trails 19-16. The snap is back. The kick is on the way. It is no good. Wide to the right.
Jerry Thomas missed the one in 91. Dan Mowry missed the one in 92. Matt Munyon will try the one in the year 2000. 49 yards for the tie. He's got the distance. He does not have the kick. Miami has won. Another look at Man Munyon's kick.
It looked like he caught it pretty solid, Vern. He got a good boot into it. It got up quick enough. Can you say wide right 3? Unbelievable. Plenty of leg, just not the right direction for Matt Munyon.
And that is a huge anvil that has been lifted from the shoulders of Butch Davis. A thriller in the Orange Bowl. Miami wins it by 3. For Todd Blackledge and Jill Arrington, Vern Lundquist saying so long. This a presentation of CBS Sports.